I
telling
think so.
Kels about that.
It'd be on my old MacBook, and I have my old MacBook still. Really quick, everyone turn your camera off.
You fucking turn your camera off.
Okay, let's try this. Okay, everyone turn it on.
Drive you nuts.
Okay, I've discovered that it orders the way it looks by the order of people that come in. So I don't,
Huh.
I still hate it, but whatever.
Weird.
Yeah,
It makes sense though.
I wish you could just fucking organize it the way you want, but whatever.
Discord, what do you expect?
Yeah.
They keep breaking their Linux version, which is frustrating.
One day we'll have the Skype renaissance.
Not TeamSpeak, bro.
Yeah, like unironically, if it wasn't for the fact that I don't think it does video still.
I
They
want that Ninja or whatever why you showed you that one time Ninja video or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
That looked amazing. It still is looks great. Like if we ever actually had a production value, like we're using that. All right. Let's see. All right. Hello and welcome to the Blue Ridge Podcast, episode number 269. We made it to the funny number.
Nice.
nice.
I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kels. We talk to you about video games every Tuesday on youtube.com/AblueRupees. And this week we're going to talk about our list that we made. We added a part 2 of our list. We made making a definitive top 25 video games. We still kind of don't understand what this carrying to. I'm assuming it's like to enthusiasts of who plays video games already. It's not for first timers. Like just people who know video games. Here's a good ass list of games. That's our list, and we were compiling it down. We got a list of like 30 to 40 left that we can start to wind down now after being a list of like 75. So that's a start. And we're gonna talk about how much this PS5 Pro ended up costing, which is a lot of money. That's gonna be a fun talk for David, I'm sure, because he had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
But before we get to all that, how's y'all's week, David? What'd you do?
I've been sick as a fucking dog.
Oh, did it get you finally? Because it got me.
No, not COVID. I'm sure you've noticed.
In general, just a sickness.
Yeah. I've been battling like laryngitis for like a fucking month now. And basically I've been told, yeah, that can happen sometimes. And my body this week decided you're just gonna not. Yeah, and you're just gonna try and be in bed all the fucking time and either sleep or do fuck all to try and help get rid of it. And so I've been playing a lot of games and watching a lot of shit because I've basically just been in bed all fucking week.
Nice. The girlfriend was sick all last week, and she was over for the first couple of days, and I managed to dodge it somehow. And then she stayed home because I'm like, I will have a panic attack if I end up skipping work because of how just neck deep we are with just stuff. But then she was in the tail end of it, so we thought we were good, and nope, it still caught me. So Sunday, and I had to call on Monday, but luckily Monday is not as bad of a day to miss. So I called in, and I've been on a recovery end. I'm like on the upswing. I got like an occasional cough fit here or there, and just some congestion, but otherwise mostly over. But it swept over everyone. I feel like everyone got hit with something. Kels, did you get hit with something?
No, luckily not. So
This
knock
guy.
on wood. Yeah, don't fucking bring that shit over here, dog.
Cough in the mic, David. Can't even hear it. Hey, her running with his sister sick too. Yeah, no, that shit sucked. Did you watch anything though? Interesting, David. Before we get to their games, what'd you watch?
So I've been watching a couple different things. I started watching the show that my partner was a big fan of that we saw was actually streaming called Spirited. Not sure if y'all are familiar with that.
No.
It's from 2010, and it's an Australian production. It's this really fascinating series. The whole premise is it follows along with this woman who's a dentist. And she lives with her 2 children and her piece of shit fucking husband, dude is like the prototypical Sigma male bullshit. Cheats on her constantly, rubs it in her face. Everything that's wrong, gaslights us, that's her fault, etc. Finally, she kind of works up the courage to fucking leave the piece of shit. And as she's trying to leave this piece of shit, her sister is trying to swoop in and get with her ex-husband. The ex-husband's like, no, fuck you. You can't just leave until I say you leave. Pulling all this other shit. Just all these other problems escalate. And then it takes a weird turn. The best way I can describe this show is like if you blended Shameless with The Ghost Whisperer.
Oh God.
Because then as she's moved into this new apartment with her and her children, because she took the kids, she realizes that she could see a ghost of this rocker from England. And she's the only one that can see him. And so shenanigans ensue as she's trying to figure out the mystery of this ghost, how he died, why he's a ghost. And then along the way, she's able to see like all ghosts and start seeing ghosts everywhere. It gets really fucking weird and crazy. And honestly kind of surreal at times. It almost has like a Twin Peaks vibe to it at times. So you have like this weird like romance going on between her and the ghost. You have like almost everyone else being a horrible fucking human being, just like the lowest of the low of degeneracy. And then you also have like these weird, surreal, almost kind of charming and haunting moments that kind of happen throughout. It's a fucking weird watch, but super recommended. It's on Amazon Prime. But yeah, so we're almost done that one.
Nice.
Been getting caught up on Spy Family, almost done season 2 of that. So fucking good, goddamn. Highly recommend. And then and I also started Only Murders in the Building. Finally got around to starting that up. Having a lot of fun with that.
You gave a pepperoni in the chat a recommendation for Spirit. He wants to watch that now.
Hell yeah.
Dude, off topic because we need to go off topic real quick. You guys see the Dave Grohl news?
Yeah, that's fucking upsetting.
I was
confession to make.
I was literally talking up how cool Dave Grohl is to one of my students like last week. Fantastic move, Mr. Grohl. Well, that's a weird ass announcement. I feel like keep that shit to your family.
I feel like you either get
ahead of it. I get that.
Say it, because either way, it's coming out. There's
I
no
get
way.
that, but it feels so weird. It felt like a delay announcement. Anyway, so Kels, what'd you do?
Yeah, so it also kind of ties into what I watched as well. Well, earlier in the week, I went and seen one of my favorite bands perform, which was really cool at a newer venue here in town. The weird thing about it is, well, the cool thing is, like, I've seen the band before, but it was with a different singer because they're one of those bands. It's like
Linkin Park,
right?
Another one with some controversy going on right now.
Right. No, a lot less controversy. So the original singer, he was always strung out on dope, so he kind of had to kick it. They got a new guy. Years into it, recorded 2 albums. He ruined his voice, so they kicked him. Original singer was clean. He came back, recorded another album. Now he's gone, and now the second singer's back, the one I like. So I got to go see that. Amazing show, great show. Venue was really cool. Really small, like intimate venue, so it's really interesting to see like rock shows and metal shows there. Really cool part of town too. And then after that, this weekend we had our first like I don't know, like store tournament for it was a Win-a-Box tournament for Star Wars Unlimited. And that kind of leads me into what I watched because the next set comes out in November, I believe, and it's Twilight of the Republic, which is Clone Wars. So I've been watching some Clone Wars. Yeah. And it's specifically like the Clone Wars era. It's not Phantom Menace. It's not Revenge of the Sith. It's Clone Wars. So I'm like, all right, guess I got to go back and rewatch because Clone Wars is one of those weird shows, right? Because it took place over like a 12-year time span in real life over multiple different networks. And so I didn't get to watch it like all like congruently. So now it's time to like go back and be like, okay, let's go ahead and rewatch it all, see what I missed out on. See, because shit will probably hit differently now too. Because I remember a lot of the clone episodes are the ones that hit really good, and those are the ones I can't wait to get to.
Real quick addition here. I forgot. I also went to go see Beetlejuice in theaters.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna. I
how was
was gonna go watch it on Wednesday, and then sickness all around. I've heard good stuff, and I heard it's one of
So
uh,
fucking soulless. I hated it.
wow,
I was so disgusted.
really.
That's interesting because I just rewatched the first one because my wife's wanting to watch the second one, but she hasn't watched the first one, so I don't know why. Anyways, so I'm like, all right, if we go, you have to watch the first one. That's the only way this is gonna work.
Literally direct continuation.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And the first one is like I don't want to say one of my favorites, but I really liked it as a kid. Like I have
I
a lot
adore
of
the
fond
first one a
memories.
lot.
Right. And so
I hold the first
rewatching
one
it-
in pretty heavy regard.
Yeah, and so rewatching it, I'm like, damn, I remember now why this shit hit. This is good shit. And then like I turn and look, and she's passed out asleep, can't give a fuck. But so hearing that the second one's a piece of soulless shit.
Well,
that's kinda funny.
that's literally the only time I've ever heard that. I've heard everyone unanimously, which is actually wild, say that they loved it. I heard it's Tim Burton's best in a long time.
No, it's
Like,
easily
I've
his
heard,
worst.
I've heard that. I've heard that. Like, I'm shocked. That's funny. That's not what I expected from you. Not that I was that, but you're the only comment I've heard that it was bad.
I don't want to go into why I hate it because it goes into spoiler territory. So for the non-spoiler reasons why I'll say I didn't like it. One, Tim Burton has a weird, creepy fucking obsession with Jenna Ortega, and it's very fucking apparent in this film.
Yeah.
The level of detail it kind of hammers in on her in some shots of the film, little fucking uncomfortable, a little fucking creepy. Also,
Especially because they always try to have her play like the small, like petite, young. It's like kind of like the Lolita kind of like,
yes,
aesthetic to
very
it.
much.
Like dress them young, make them appear young when in actuality she's like 25, 26 probably.
Is she?
And again, we're
no, she's younger than that. No, is she?
No, she's like mid 20s, I believe.
No, she's 21.
21, yeah.
21.
Okay,
so
so
yeah.
early 20s, but still. They always
But,
dress her down to look like 15.
You know,
16.
she
Yeah.
reminds me of like this current generation's like Vanessa Hudgens.
I can see that. Except goth, but
Yeah.
And
And see, the only
it's-
thing I've heard that April Brody kind of get the only criticism I've heard was that it felt rushed at the end. They felt like it could have been a little bit longer. But
Well,
that's the
my
only
main-
extension. That's the one criticism I heard from like one person.
My main issue, like going into the movie, not knowing anything, just seeing trailers, blah, 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 blah. The whole thing that makes the first one, I feel like, is the attachment that you have to like the family and their situation going on.
yes.
So if you don't have that, you have purely people that are insufferable in the movie.
Yes, and that's part of the problem. I'll also say because they really only get like 3 people back from the original film.
Because it kind of looks like it has like the worst attributes of like a Wes Anderson film. I feel like it's kind of like that spastic,
Yeah.
sporadic filmmaking. A lot.
I told you guys I went to the musical, right?
For Beetlejuice.
Yeah, there was a musical
No.
that was touring around. I went and saw it like I want to say like in April or May. Super solid. It was super fun.
Sounds interesting.
I'll have to look into that. But no, other things that are non-spoilery that I really hated about it. Again, they only have like 3 people from the original cast come back: Lydia, her stepmother, and of course Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice.
What about their pedophile dad?
He's in it, technically. They do so much to get around the fact that he's not the actor, but goddamn, he's in it.
Whenever I was showing it to my wife, every time he'd pop up, be like, "Oh, there's the pedophile."
Yeah, no, he's the father is in the film, the actor is not. I'll phrase it that way.
Interesting.
The other part of the problem is it feels like there's 3 different plot lines that they couldn't decide on because essentially Lydia has her own plot line, Beetlejuice has his own plot line, and then the daughter of Lydia has her own plot line. And they kind of converge towards the end of the film, which is where it kind of goes into what Crazy Pepperoni Sandy was saying, is that it feels rushed towards the end, is because you've had these three divergent storylines that just finally come together, and then basically movie's over.
Interesting. I'm excited to see it. So I want to see it. How that works out.
I feel like if anything, it'll be a fun time, either to laugh at it or enjoy it. Laugh at or with.
We'll have to come back
definitely
to that one.
laugh at. We'll have to do a spoiler episode on that later
for sure.
In terms of I was gonna say something before you hopped on that. Watching.
Kels, was there anything else you watched or did?
No. Yeah. Nope. Clone Wars is my conclusion to what I've been watching. Yeah, so I copped all the Clone Wars and Bad Batch, and I just plan to kind of watch through that and get that engulfed. Quite a bit. There's like 20 episodes per season of the Clone Wars. I think there's like
holy
7
shit, that's
seasons.
girthy.
Yeah, but see, that's what I like about it too, because they really take their, like, a lot of the fandom kind of like they lean on the crutch of the Clone Wars, like, no, the prequels are good because the Clone Wars makes it good. I mean, it's kind of true. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of really good stuff there that fleshes it all out.
I ended up watching the last Harry Potter movie finally.
Oh, did you see that they're doing that open casting call for this?
Yeah, good timing, right?
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of a Harry Potter party where we invited a bunch of coworkers and friends to watch it together, and it kind of turned into a drinking. Everyone's hanging out, kind of talking over the movie a little bit. So I definitely need to rewatch it just to actually get some stuff from it. I will say, having remembered bits and pieces of it, I was very disappointed in the Battle of Hogwarts. I think maybe
that's the one thing to look forward to. I feel like with these new movies is television show, if they're given like Game of Thrones budgets and like effort, I should say, I think shit will look really good, especially whenever we get to those later seasons when they're not necessarily school centric.
They just have to have a team that's ready to hustle their ass off for 7 years and not drop the ball.
Because if you think about it, like, look at like Stranger Things and shit like that. Like, that was a cultural phenomenon, kind of on the same wavelength of Harry Potter, but for like a new generation of young adults and families really to watch. And that took them how long to get all that shit out?
So
that's insanity.
I forget who I saw on Twitter say it, but like they're gonna try to push these all out, and those kids are gonna outgrow that role real quick, unless they stay on track with it. Like, and it's like, all right, 7 years, like lock that shit up, like that's what you guys doing for 7 years.
Like, looking back on it, it's crazy to kind of see like what was accomplished with those initial Harry Potter movies and like what they were able to do in that time period. Like, they cranked that shit out just to make it like feasible,
right?
And because they were literally the age of the kids in the first book whenever they started it, and they kind of grew into the role like as the books go. And I don't know how they were able to accomplish it, but it's insanity to me.
Right. I was kind of reflecting on it the entire way through, where I'm like, they hit a snag where they'd take an extra year or two. It was like, no, it would have got completely derailed, especially in the early movies. But like they meld that role like really well. Like, they picked the perfect cast to kind of just fall into things, and like they fit the roles, which is phenomenal.
And they're able to keep like almost the entire cast like together, like barring death, you know, like it was mostly like they kept everyone, like no one like had to drop out for something.
There was only one,
right?
It was Boyle, right?
Yep.
Because
Crab, it was one
Crab,
of them.
Crab or Boyle, yeah, Goyle or whatever. Or one of those.
You know, one of them became a terrorist. They're in like a big bomb, like
Slytherin, man.
Yeah.
The guy had to drop out because he got arrested for having a weapon and having drugs on him. I'm like, dude, that's Slytherin. Why didn't like this? Then keep him there.
He's just getting practice.
Yeah, he's playing the role. He was
method acting.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, I remember like I was sounding a little bit silly because I was trying to take shots for every time a character that I knew died. which is a lot in the last one. But
Yeah.
I was severely disappointed because it was like and I was like, am I crazy? But like in the books, like they showed how some of these people died, and they were like, yeah, like whereas like something happened, and all of a sudden blink, and it's like, all right, now you're looking at their dead bodies. I'm like, no, like let me see the fucking death. Like let's add some impact to that. But otherwise, like it was still fun. It still landed, and I think good. Hats off to that whole team. Like again, like you're saying, it's the fact they got from beginning to
Insane.
end and just landed on their feet like that, and it's phenomenal. Honestly, like MCU ain't doing that.
No, I mean, they really aren't. And it's insanity because like a lot of those, because we grew up with them, right? Watching them grow up too, and it kind of like builds into like a lot of their story arcs too.
Mhm.
Because like look at Neville, like he was kind of like that side character. He was kind of like a character.
Dude, I
that chose-
fucking love Neville. Neville, dude, he
Yeah,
was
and
he was
then
a
by the
dorky ass
end-
character, but he became handsome. Like he hit puberty. Is like, hold up, and you could tell everyone's like, all right, he hit the he had that Kumail Nanjiani from I forget what show he was in,
Yeah, the Eternals is whenever he got like super buff.
and they had to like play that into his role where he's like not the fat nerd anymore. Like, oh, he's just really
Oh,
fit.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, dude, I was popping off for Neville. I'm like, dude, Neville was like popping off during the Battle of Hogwarts. He
Yeah.
killed that bridge. He was taking out the snake, and I'm like, yo, talk your shit, Neville. Fucking stand on business. Everyone out here is fucking slacking, but dude just killing that shit.
That's how it was in the books too. I remember because like I don't think he like it wasn't a moment like him killing people, but he was handling shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Because,
think
like-
that was supposed to be one of the planned reveals. Is that he was the actual chosen one, not Harry.
No, that was a reveal. That was in the book. Yeah, that was the whole reason that they went after his parents.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, we watched that. I'm she. So you're gonna like this, David. I forget
Well,
Kel's contention on this. So we're doing kind of a thing. I kind of want to make a podcast out of it. It's kind of like what your train wreck would be, but like we kind of like pass each other off with one of our things that she likes and I like. We might do that whenever we get settled into the house together. We might do that. But all right, we got through Harry Potter. Cool, that was hers. Now I gotta figure out what I gotta watch, and she's like, all right, well make it something and realize because my next one's gonna be Doctor Who. So we're gonna watch Doctor Who all the way through. I'm like,
Oh Jesus! All right, that's.
she's like, yeah. So she's like, make
Now
your
she
next...
just means Doctor 9. through
yeah,
13,
whatever
right?
the one's like.
You're not doing the Disney one, right?
No, if I'm like if we're doing more, then I'm gonna bow out already. Like I refuse to overly commit to that much stuff. But I will do the box set, right? Like the one that we mentioned, the one I got. So I'm like,
Yeah.
alright, that's fine.
Yeah, which is 9 through 13. That
Yeah.
was the only thing that matters.
So I'm like wondering what I need to knock off from the list. So I'm thinking like I don't know, top of my head, I'm like it might just be Breaking Bad. She's never watched Breaking Bad. I'm like, how the fuck have you not
Ooh.
seen Breaking Bad?
I mean, at least then you'd
Literally.
be of equal episode amounts.
Right. And then I mean,
Actually, still think there's more Doctor Who.
no,
but-
there probably is, but I'm like, yeah. But then I'll be eager to watch Better Call Saul afterwards. But then I don't know. Part of me is like also like maybe this is how I get myself through Twin Peaks, maybe. But again, it's
Ooh.
got to be a girthy thing. I gotta sit through the Doctor Who. Not that I'm gonna like dislike it, obviously, but I'm like, if we're gonna go on like fire. I got to give something on my end too. So we'll
I'm so fucking curious to see your thoughts as soon as you start going through it.
yeah, we'll see. I do have before we if we want to start on what we played, I do have something that I want to start with what I made her play
Hell
actually
yeah.
yesterday. So actually, let me go through. Like I said, I was sick yesterday, and I've just been sleeping, dude. When I get sick, I just knock myself the fuck out. I'm like, all right, let's just sleep. Like as much as I would love to be like have some snacks and like a blanket and just like chill. I'm like, no, I gotta knock myself the fuck out. So I put an hour into Persona 5 Strikers, David. I've decided. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
All right.
I had this weird, just like we talked about this actually. I shouldn't say it's weird, but I decided I was like, you know what? It was last night. It was probably a little bit too late than I should have, but I said it was last night at 8:30, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this, and I just stopped everything, turned on my Switch, gave her the controller, and started up To the Moon. I'm like, we're playing this from the
Ooh,
beginning
all right.
to the end. And oh man, dude, I didn't really live tweet it, but I live tweeted a few moments last night. Let me go to these really quick. Okay. First response out the gate was she's like, it looks like Stardew Valley, which I was like, all right, cool. So that's gonna be the difference between David's partner and mine, where she was like, oh, I'm used to this. This is fine with me. Where David's, you said yours didn't connect because of the
Yeah, she didn't really play during that era. That era for her was mostly like PC gaming, so it was a lot of Myst and stuff like that.
Fair.
So she never really did the pixel art games.
yeah. So she's completely new to a lot of this. So I got her on a few things, and Stardew Valley was one of them. So it looks like it was a good early call because that worked out. She hates Watts. She hated. I think he grew on him at the beginning, later on, but like in the beginning, he's a massive smartass. I knew when very early on. I don't want to spoil too much for Kels because Kels, you absolutely need to play To the Moon.
Mm.
There was a moment where I got a sad oh, and I was like, oh no, this is mild to what's gonna happen. Got through all of it. It's about 4 hours. It ended with a quote. That was cute. I'm glad I wasn't on my period because I would have cried so much. Which is
Real.
fair
All
quote.
right.
Yeah,
He said
you know
it,
what?
Not him. He said it.
Yeah, dude. I always say it, but there's like games that are like right there. It's like not doesn't they don't make me cry. They maybe make my eyes almost a little watery, but like never quite there, like to the point where like Coco ever made me. But To the Moon is one of those games where I'm like, damn, dude, you're so close. Like that shit, dude. The reveals in that game, just the emotions and the fact that the ending when you really dissect it is so just so much. Just like I don't even want to say anything else. Just
So good.
you know. Kel, they
I'm
see
trying to
it.
think of the last game that made me cry now.
Yeah, I see a thinking face on there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of the last game that made me cry.
13 Sentinels, man, that fucking hit me.
I think it's probably Spider-Man PS4 because there's a I don't need to say spoiler alert. There's a moment at the very end with Aunt May as
Yeah.
she's dying, and that moment is like, no, I'm not crying
You're crying.
because it's like because I mean there's like so much context going into it because it's not just all you have to know is Peter Parker, his dynamic with his aunt, his mother figure, and then just that whole speech of like I knew it was you, Peter. I know that you're Spider-Man. It's like you knew. I always knew. I was always worried, but it's like
I'm so mixed on that game where I like that game a lot. I wish they would have trimmed it down like 33%, cut out some parts, and it would have been really beefy with those moments there because there were some standout moments like that.
oh yeah, like the
with-
Mr. Negative fight, the whole Sinister Six fight. I like the Doc Ock
I even
fight.
in Spider-Man 2, the Mr. Negative stuff, I'm like, all right, this shit, like, I was actually all right with it. I was
I
like,
haven't
okay.
played the second one, so
What?
I haven't played the second one.
Oh, well, spoilers, my bad.
Yet. I didn't know he came back. Okay.
Whoops.
Oh,
Wait
he's
till you-
like
all right.
Wait to hear Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, right. I love that actor that they got to play Mr. Negative too. He fucking kills it. He's so
Yeah.
good.
You need to play To the Moon.
Got it.
It's 4 hours. If you want to just have a really good cry fest at the end, just get through that, dude. Man, you know what, David? I'm gonna say this
real quick. The whole series is on sale right now.
That's one reason why too, because that episode, David. And I'm like, you know what? This is gonna push me to probably play those other ones now. But you know what, David? I swear to God, I knew what I was getting myself into. Like we know, right? Like if you know, and you're like, all right, I kind of understand. And it's been a few years now, so I'm like, all right, I forgot enough stuff that I'll miss some of the inner beats. That'll get me. But you know what? As soon as you walk into the fucking the house and the twins are playing that song, I'm like, you motherfucker! God damn it! I still remember that song. Good stuff. Dude.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's really good. But yeah, I'm excited to play because I've heard good stuff about the whole series, which is great. That could have been a totally standalone game and moved on, but the fact that it's still going and it's even got like those episodes, I'm like, yeah, I'll go and try those out for sure. April running the chat says a few things. Let's see. I still watch movies. I know Harry Potter reading is 1/4 of the first book. I don't know how Harry Potter would hit people just reading it brand new now. I feel like it's a very very big nostalgia thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like if you go back and read it now, it's probably dog shit. But
I'm curious
I
to
mean,
try it though eventually.
a lot of YA just doesn't really hold up. I feel like,
Right.
especially
Yeah.
past that.
Yo,
But at
the
the
good
same time,
YA
like,
stuff though, oh man, timeless forever, dude. I really want to read Lord of the Flies for some reason. I'm really itching to read
oh
Lord
yeah,
of the
the
Flies
early,
lately.
for real.
Uh, and then he says that I think the Guardians of the Galaxy game got me close to crying. Guardians is fantastic.
I still gotta
Haven't played
play
one
that.
either.
Yeah, but
me
you got it now.
I do have it.
Yep, it's fantastic. I think David, you will really like it actually.
I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah. So
Just haven't played it. There's such a fucking backlog.
it's never ending. But yeah, so to the moon was a excellent replay. David, what'd you play?
Hell yeah. So I've been playing a lot of shit. Made more progress in Near Automata. We just got to the first like major section of the game where you get a fuck ton of side quests. Still, the partner is glad that I am the one playing it because every step of the way she's just been like, I would not have gone through this myself. Her empathy levels are through the roof, and it's hilarious because every so often I'll keep doing just some random act of maliciousness I don't need to, just to show her like, this is what I did on my playthrough, and I just get this look of like, you're a fucking monster. It is wonderful. It's so good going back to it.
Dude, same thing. There's, you know what? Fucking hell. I would love for us to have an episode like retrospective episode on just music in games, like some standout songs in games.
Yes.
Like I said, like that song specifically, I won't talk more about it, but like the one into the moon is fantastic. There's like a song, it's like
opening to
Zero, that
Banjo
always gets
Tooie.
me. What was it?
The opening to Banjo Tooie.
Fantastic. It makes me cry every time.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
wait,
also
dude.
so much in the fucking Nier franchise.
No, but
just-
David, tell me, Kaine Salvation. Just the second you just hear it, and then like the two moods, you got Kaine Salvation, and you got Kaine Escape. Just for, oh, dude, like if I ever hear those, it's just like, oh, it's over. It's like, all right, I swear to God, if they ever pop on my playlist, I'm like back on watching reaction videos. I just need to like watch it all over again. It's ridiculous. And then, you know what?
100%.
And then the Discover Cal side too. Alan Wake 2 soundtrack. Mwah.
The Bug Snacks theme song by Caro Caro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Got David going.
So good, I
need
got
to
that
go
one
back and play
on vinyl.
DLC.
Strawberries
Such a
and
good
vinyl.
fucking game.
So Nier's been going well.
Yeah, Nier's going well. For perspective, also for you, Adrian, I also just finished the mission with 11B where you find her sword, and then kind of going into the real, and also when you fight 22B, 32B, and the other android, and that realization of something smells at your doesn't it?
Yeah. Another game Cal
But,
has to play eventually.
Yes,
That's up to his backlog. Fuck our backlog.
fucking
That's
A.
up to his.
So the whole fucking just such a good franchise. Also, I had to point this out to her because she really enjoyed her time watching me go through Nier Replicant. I had to point out in the background when you could first see Devil on Popola, and she's like, "Fucking kill him! Go back there and kill him!" Like, I can't go back and kill him. She's like, "No, kill him! They fucking deserve it." I'm like, "Look, trust me. Just wait until later. You'll understand what they have gone through, and you'll be happy."
What a fucking franchise.
What a fucking franchise indeed. And then of course she's like, where's Emil? Is he still around? I'm like, oh, just wait. But aside from that, I've also been playing more Pokemon Coliseum. Almost done that game. I intended to only just play a little bit of the first Pokemon trading card game. So I was testing around. There's an application in Linux that's called Bottles, and it's like a fork of wine, which is used to emulate Windows.
Speaking of Banjo,
For hell yeah. And it's supposed to basically
R.I.P..
just I wanted to use it because for retro achievements, there's a specific fork of Visual Boy Advance that they use for it, and it doesn't have a Linux version. So it's like, oh, I'll just go ahead and boot up Bottles, and I'll test to see if retro achievements works with Bottles, and it did. And I didn't stop playing, and I just marathon the entire fucking game in one sitting. So I played through all of the first Pokemon TCG. I will say going back to that game is hilarious because knowing what I know now with all my years of competitive TCG knowledge, it's such a dead easy game that's kind of sad. I basically picked my first deck, which I went with the Bulbasaur and Friends deck. And really the only thing I did to it as I played is I took out Pokemon and I threw in more draw cards, and that's all I did. I just fucking win game with the same starter deck with a few minor tweaks. So easy, so simple. Which from what I understand of current Pokemon TCG meta is not that off of how they play it now. It's not uncommon for decks to only run like 3 to 6 Pokemon, and then the rest are just trainer cards, which is wild to me. But yeah, so
I've never
played through that.
Pokemon TCG. Like, never played through it and consciously knew what I was
So,
doing, I should say. But I had the TCG game on Game Boy Color, was it?
Yep.
And I had that growing up, but I did not know what the fuck I was doing. I just knew Pokemon cool.
that's so funny. So, I like 2 weeks ago, I had collected Pokemon cards just because like Pokemon, but I just
Yeah.
do not.
Same.
I don't really care about the game, nor do I really care to learn it.
I kind of want to, honestly. It looks like fun.
It's
Real
accessible
quick.
enough. Go ahead.
One thing I love that they do with their TCG that I wish more TCGs would do, when you buy a pack of cards, it also gives you a digital pack coupon for the online version of the game.
That's
so
sick.
when you buy one pack, you're essentially buying 2 packs.
That's cool.
The girlfriend and her friend heard about a draft tournament, and
Yeah.
she
Hell
collects a little
yeah.
bit. She's like, I'm gonna go. She's like, you wanna go? I was like, I'm good. Have fun. But it was like at midnight, and so
Oh, it was probably a pre-release then.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because they just had that.
yeah, man, those guys go fucking crazy at fucking till 2:30 in the fucking morning. I'm like, Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
Yeah,
man.
and like the midnight release is like a hard line. It's kind of like why you like the midnight releases for Nintendo games are still that hard, like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because I think if they do it any earlier, they can like lose their
Yeah, they
like,
would lose their licenses.
license. There you go.
Which
'Cause I was talking to one of the dudes at one of the shops I go to all the time. He's like, "Yeah, y'all gotta get out of here because we're having a big Pokemon event." Like, man, fuck these little kids. Get them out here. It's past their bedtime anyway.
I get it for games because I mean games can leak and then they go online, but what's the rationale
Right.
behind cards? Is it just that they go on market early? But like,
It's twofold. One, they can go on market early, and also two, a lot of these TCGs have pro circuits.
Yep.
So if these cards are
The
being
Pokemon
sold,
Pro Circuit
or
is insane.
yeah,
so like extra time with the cards.
extra time with the cards, and also it can give an unfair advantage. And if one shop is consistently like doing it, it shows that there's some kind of either favoritism
Yeah. Okay.
or
that part's-
CD money going on.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was like, damn, I didn't realize people went that crazy with that. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Shouts to them.
Yeah, you catch me yawning at the card shop at like 9 whenever I'm there for Star Wars. Those people there at midnight for Pokemon, I don't know how the fuck they do
I
it.
didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was like a pre. I was like, cool. I thought that was like a 9 or 10 p.m. thing, and she rolled there like at fucking midnight. I'm like, Jesus H Christ.
Yeah, MTG, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and now Star Wars are like the big ones for pre-release events.
Yeah.
You used to also be able to see some for like Force of Will. For like a brief period, the Final Fantasy TCG would do midnight release stuff.
Speaking of
Um,
what you were talking about the digital pack thing, there's this new one coming out. I guess it was a Kickstarter TCG, but it's finally releasing. It's called Altered. I don't know
ooh,
if
I
you've
heard
heard of
about
it.
that one.
Yeah, so they do something interesting too. So all their cards have a QR code on them, and it
Hmm.
it pretty much gives you digital rights to that card because their idea is that they're going to have an online platform for selling and trading and playing. So how you can scan that card and bam, you have ownership of the card, so then you can use it online to play with. But trading, you don't just trade the cardboard. You trade the person the digital rights to the card, and then they
Interesting.
order a new copy of the card from the company, and the company
Huh.
sells the card. Because they're also
That's
doing it.
fascinating.
Yeah, so every pack, you know how like Magic and stuff, you'll get like token cards or whatever, just bullshit fillers.
Yeah.
So they're called foilers. It's a blank card with a QR code on it, and it's for every rarity. And you scan that,
Hmm.
and so whenever you order a card from the company, you can get that rarity of card in that foil.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so and that's how they also regulate it for pro or competitive play. If you bring a deck, you have to have digital ownership of all those cards. Because technically you could bring proxies or whatever, but you have to have show that, hey, I think it's like an account thing. Like you sign up and your account shows like your library or whatever registered deck that you're bringing.
I'm not sure how I feel about that in the long term.
Yeah, I don't know how that's feasible to keep doing that because cards go back and forth. They're trading hands so fucking much.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like your store and like someone has a card that you want, you have a card they want. How does that work? Like, can you just trade digitally too? Like right there? Like, I don't know, but just from like what I've seen on it, it's like that's super interesting because a lot of their cards are, I don't want to say procedurally generated, but they have like, I guess they have cards that are called uniques, which have like all their stats and all their things. They have a pool to pull from, and they can be from like on a range, and so
Interesting.
they can be like variables on it. And so that's how like someone can have a card and someone can have another card, exact same names, but way different stats on them. And I guess that's why it makes it more unique to trade and try to get those RNG pools.
It feels like what they really wanted to do was just a digital card game,
It
but
sounds
kind
like
of
it,
like it sounds like kind of like with the argument Adrian makes for companies of like wanting to have a store presence still,
right.
and decided to kind of release that as like the middleman option.
That's how it felt to me too. But I just thought the whole like idea of having the QR code for the digital ownership is interesting. Because have you played or have you played recently like the older like Yu-Gi-Oh games for like Game Boy Advance and shit like
No,
that?
I want to play that. I want
Yes.
to play that collection they have coming out.
Yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of it because a lot of those had that function where you could type in the card code at the
Yeah.
bottom and you just
Um,
get the card in game.
which was, man, can I just say, we're going on so many tangents, but it's fine. Uh, early Yu-Gi-Oh was fucking wild
Insane.
because it took so long for them to figure out how they even wanted the game to actually work. Because the wild thing that people keep forgetting is that the Yu-Gi-Oh manga wasn't originally about cards.
No.
Like every story arc had its own game as its kind of centerpiece.
Yep.
Also, shout out Stray Fitty.
Oh yeah.
So that's where we got like their D&D kind of inspired campaign
Oh,
from. That's where
the
we
Dungeon
got
Dice. Oh, I love
Dungeon Dice Monsters, which
Oh,
honestly I still fuck with Dungeon Dice Monsters.
dude,
That
game
was
was
such
really
a great
fun on the Game
idea.
Boy
I
Advance.
fucked.
Yeah,
I fucked with that game so much. That shit
me
was
too.
fucking
Fuck
awesome.
yeah, like it was that
I
that
s-
was peak.
I played that like maybe again like 2 or 3 years ago. I fucking loved it.
I unironically would fucking kill for a new fucking set for that. I still have all my minis from it, but
Oh, that's sick.
yeah, I use them in for
I
tabletop
didn't even
shit
know they
all the
made
time.
minis for that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
there was an actual physical version of it you could get for a while.
Okay.
And it was great. Like it sucked because they only did like 3 sets for
Yeah,
it.
probably not
So you only
supported
had
at
like a
all.
quarter of all the available creatures from the GBA game.
Yeah.
But they ended up becoming really great minis. So I ended up using the Knight of Twin Swords a lot for my minis. But oh, and Buford the Iron Knights gets used quite a bit too. But no, that was kind of one of those things that because of that, all those early games all have their own weird made up rules, just because it took like I think like 4 years into Yu-Gi-Oh's existence before they finally understood what they want the TCG to look like proper. Because you figure the games are coming out before the actual TCG was made. So I think like the first three Game Boy games were before the TCG was out, and then after the TCG was out, there was already so many games mid-development that it wasn't until basically after Forbidden Memories on PS1 that they were able to finally like right ship and still make it more like that. Which the ironic part is, honestly, I like the games that aren't like the actual TCG the most. Forbidden Kingdoms I also fuck with. Going ahead and making a weird RTS out of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Hell yeah. Let's go.
Or even, did you play Duel of Roses? That one was so weird.
Yes.
It was kind of like a Pokemon Coliseum, but for Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG.
Yeah, it's set in the War of the Roses, but with all this ancient Egyptian shit.
And they're like trying to be extra dark whenever it's already pretty dark.
Yeah, it's... Oh, man, that's also one of the things I fucking love about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, there's so much heinous and dark shit in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga and in the Season Zero anime.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I fucking wish they would do an actual re-release of fucking Season Zero and give us like a Blu-ray cut of that. But yeah, no, fucking, it's so good. But then they're like, no, we gotta like kidify it, and then you have 4 kids super kidifying it, making it even worse.
It's in the title.
What a wild timeline. All right, Adrian, what else did you do?
I'm kind of interested to like how like your local like card shop scene looks like.
Oh, dude, it's fucking real quick on that note. I've been out of the game for a little bit, but there was really only 3 major TCG shops back when I used to play competitively. There was JNR Cards, which was originally in Brunswick, and then they moved to, I think, over in Norway. And then there was Dirigo Hobbies, which originally was in, I think they started in Lewiston and then moved to Gray. And then there's one other one that the name is escaping me at this moment. And I think, honestly, Dirigo Hobbies is closed now. And maybe JNR Cards is gone now, too. Yeah, no, I remember it being wild. There were so many times back when I used to play where that's actually some of the few photos that still exist of me in my teen years was from midnight openings back when I had my embarrassing mullet. So many times with Magic, so many good memories, so many horrible memories as well. But
Corey says I thought Yu-Gi-Oh was always kid friendly. I guess I was wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure like Yugi's grandpa originally gets like murked in Season 0.
Yeah, so watch Season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh and you'll change that real quick.
Yeah, no, fucking Yami Yugi straight up fucking kills people basically.
Yeah.
The Shadow games are actually called like fucking death games. And there's one where this person tries to rape Taya, and he fucking corners them. He's like, all right, asshole, we're gonna play a game. And then he pours oil around them and then has like a stream of oil going and balances a lighter on his hand. And it's like, all right, we're gonna play fucking craps. And whoever loses is gonna get set on fire.
Good stuff.
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Fire game coming to your local comic book shop this fall.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 and the original manga are unhinged. And then it became about children. Although, real quick, I want to talk about a weird spoiler with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like the end of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, right? So it's like Zextal or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, yeah.
I learned about this recently, and it blows my goddamn mind. Apparently, so like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga is like one continuous story.
Yeah.
So the original series into GX, into XD or 5Ds or whatever the fuck it's called, all one continuous story. In Zexal or whatever the fuck it's called, there's time travel as part of the elements. So that main character like goes back through time a lot and ends up teaming up with all the other protagonists of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I guess the way that fucking manga ends is some of the most batshit insane time travel usage, because the girl he's been sweet on, has been trying to get with, ends up rejecting him. And then in their adult life, she ends up hooking up with this other guy, which you find out is him after he time traveled back in the past, and he is the son born of himself. He is his own father.
Rest in peace, by
And
the
he
way.
cucked himself.
Rest in peace
Oh.
to the real father, Darth Vader out there.
Right. Yes. James Earlman Jones. Rest in peace.
So
Yeah, what else?
no, Kels, what you been playing?
So the Black Ops 6 beta, the open beta, the one that you don't have to pay for, was popping off, and hopped on that, checked it out. It's fun. It's Call of Duty.
Oh.
The maps so far, there's like 2 of them that I was having fun with. The other one, stinky doo doo, poo
Oh,
poo.
man.
But I mean, I think that's usually the case with COD. Like at least with this one, they're supposed to be launching with like all new maps, so it's not like consisting of old nostalgia bullshit. So I'm hoping I can at least get like a handful that are good, and then you have the ones over here that you just map voting is back, so you can vote. You don't have to you don't have to play those.
Nice. Oh my god.
Real quick, I forgot to mention this. The other thing I've been playing is I started the second Pokemon TCG game because it has a fan translation now. And shout outs to the people behind Retro Achievements. Their support team is actually really fucking chill. I earned 3 achievements in the game, and they popped fine. But 2 of them didn't pop for me. That I had also earned. And I submitted a bug report. I was like, hey, look, I know I'm technically playing this in an unsupported way. And I sent them logs, and I'm like, look, I'm running Nabara OS, and I'm using bottles to act as a proxy for Windows to run this version.
If they just emailed you back, shut the fuck up, nerd. It'd been so funny.
Hilariously, no. And I'm like, look, 3 achievements popped like they were supposed to, but these other 2 I didn't. I know I'm not technically running this in an intended way, but I played all of the first Pokemon TCG this way just fine, and I got 3 achievements in this game just fine. I don't know why these 2 didn't pop. And so they actually spent time troubleshooting with me, and they're like, okay, well, did you have any network issues? No, I was hardwired. No issues there. All right, fine. And I'm like, if you want, I can give you my Ubiquity log so you can look through that. I'm like, oh, no, we're fine. We trust you. It's like, okay. And then I was like, look, is there any other logs I can get for you guys? They're like, no, we may ask for your save file just to prove you actually
security number
got
just
those
to be sure.
things. Yeah. But no, they were really chill, and after a little bit of back and forth, they're like, all right, we'll just manually pop those achievements into your account. And I just refreshed, and yeah, they just popped those 2 achievements in there. So shout outs to Retro Achievements. I know I wasn't big on them when Adrian first mentioned them ages ago when he got the Miyu Mini. But now that I'm kind of fucking with it a little bit, and using it as an excuse to go through my backlog a bit more, I may end up getting a little emulation handheld,
Hell yeah.
just so I can do that a bit more easily and not always have to have a laptop on hand.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Analog just announced their Game Boy Colors.
Sadly, it doesn't work because it's FPGA based. Also, I would never give Analog money.
No. Yeah, fuck them. See, I was so hype on those pockets originally until like all that buffoonery that they fucking had going on.
Well, what's the buffoonery? Talk me out of it, because I still like the product. It looks cool to me.
See, that's the issue. Like, the product looks cool, it looks great, but it's a company founded on like FOMO and just like creating sparse resources, and like it's kind of like the idea of like Supreme and like drop shipping clothes and shit like that.
They do that, plus their product is technically closed source, even though they build a lot of what they have off of open source software,
Yeah,
which
that's been
legally they shouldn't be allowed to do,
Interesting.
but they modify it enough that it technically counts as a different thing. A lot of their older products have jailbreaks, but those jailbreaks are basically officially supported modifications. And that was the big thing with the Analog Pocket when it came out as well, is it took the developers like a year and a half before they finally started releasing the jailbreaks. And those are important because that's how people that work on the Mister project were able to port the cores that they had for the Mister to Analog's different devices. And honestly, I also just hate their scummy marketing, because their scummy marketing is like, oh, it's not emulation. And it pretends to be the real hardware. It's like, no, no, no. Motherfucker, you don't understand what that word means. It is emulation. It's hardware emulation. You're not putting a real fucking bit of hardware in there and calling it a day. You are using an FPGA fucking CPU that's pretending to be the CPU chipset of these consoles. It's still emulation, but they get weirdly defensive and weirdly aggressive if you try to tell them it's hardware emulation. And if someone doesn't understand that while trying to sell a hyperinflated cost FOMO product, I immediately don't trust you as a human being. Fuck off. You're disingenuous. So I would never buy an analog product. I would keep an eye out. There's a YouTuber, Taki Udon, who actually just released his first wave of his Mister clone alternatives. So the Mister uses the DE10 Nano as its basic chipset, and those are starting to go out of stock. They were originally only meant to be used in like the education space, but a lot of people found that they were cheap enough to go ahead and use for developing FPGA emulators. But that's starting to get hyper expensive and starting to get very low in quantity. Taki Udon and his team found an alternative chipset, so you can get a Mister alternative for only $100. And he's working on a handheld version of that as well. So if you do want something that is like the analog but handheld, keep an eye out for that. That is what I would recommend, because it's going to be based around the Mister project, which has basically emulators for almost everything that are cycle accurate as well. And so I'd keep an eye out for that over something analog related.
I've seen a few of them pop up in my local Facebook marketplace, and I've been super tempted to cop one, because if I am going to buy from them, that's probably going to be the way I'd do it.
It's one of those things that I like Mister, and I almost caved on it, but then the Mars project got announced, and so I'm kind of waiting for that. I'll still probably honestly get Taki Udon just because his is cheap. Like I said, it's like $100 to get a fully working unit. But the Mars is the one I'm most interested in, because that one is meant to be up to almost PS2 for full FPGA emulation, and I 100% want that. One of the first things they showed off was Dreamcast and a lot of arcade games of the Dreamcast era. So there's a lot of power behind Mars Project. I'm also expecting it to come in around $500. So
I think the one big thing too that Analog just has on the market is it's user friendly for newbies, because I mean,
yeah,
all of what you're saying makes sense, but to someone that just wants to play their old Pokemon games on software on new hardware, they don't know what any of that fucking means. They just know like, oh, the
fair.
screen's brighter, the screen's better. Oh, $250? Sure, I guess I'll pay that. Meanwhile, it's like, no,
And that was that. Thanks for saying that too, because that reminds me. That was another thing that was infuriating with analog products, is they have a long history of flash carts not working on them. Shout outs to Krizix. He is a beast of a human being. Him and his team are from the Ukraine, and they went through a lot of shit. I've talked about them a bit before in the podcast, but he went above and beyond to patch his flash carts to circumvent the issues that analog products have, to still ensure that his flash carts would work on them, because analog didn't give a fuck about allowing flash carts to work on it. But it's not emulation. It works just like the original product. Even though you pop a fucking flash cart into an original product and it works.
Nice.
Anyways, yeah. What else have you been playing, Kels?
Really, that's it. I got in some good time on Black Ops 6 this weekend, and then other than that, bunch of card games.
Oh, yeah. All right, Adrian, what'd you buy while I go pee?
I ain't get anything. I bought Death Store on Switch because it's $5.
Oh, I still need to play that.
Yeah, I figure
Eventually.
why not. That's a place I'd play it on. You know, I don't.
Right. That's why I feel like it'd be a good place to play it at.
Yeah. What'd you get?
Comic time,
Oh,
comic
yeah.
time, comic time. I think these are the new ones I got. Yes, they are. What's that? God damn, all this extra shit in my bag. Okay, so yeah, so I was talking about before. There's the new X-Men runs that kind of spun out of like the last X-Men run. This is another one that's just starting up from the old run. This is Exceptional X-Men. This is Emma Frost and Kitty leading their like little Splinter Cell X-Men team.
Hell yeah.
Find out what's happening there. We have the Moon Knight annual, which is a kind of follow up to the current run I'm reading, and the in between for Fist of Khonshu and Spirit of Vengeance, or Vengeance of the Moon Knight. We have Rook number 5. They're hitting about halfway here.
Nice.
And then this one's really good. This like this Ultimate run keeps on surprising me more and more, but this one's really good. It just kind of shows like it establishes the maker as like one of those, I don't want to say generational, but like one of those greats as like a big bad character. I really hope one day we get to see that kind of realized on screen. I think that'd be cool to see, but it's one of those I feel like takes a lot of building, because it literally took a whole run of the Ultimate Universe, Secret Wars 2, and then where we are now to even set it up. So don't know how they do it in the MCU. I don't get paid for that shit.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, fortunately. So with Ghost Machine, they've been doing Redcoat, Junkyard Joe, all these other ones. So they have a new one coming out. It's supposed to be like a more horror themed. It's called Hyde Street. It's not out yet, but they released what's called an Ashcan variation of it. It's like a smaller comic, and it's all black and white.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I really like the art for it. So what happened? I went to the first store that I go to play cards at, and they had it up at the front, so I tried to buy it, and they're like, "Oh, these are raffle only." It's like, all right, what the fuck? I bought
Okay.
2 tickets for like $5 a piece. Didn't win it, so I go to my other store. I see it there, and it's 50. So I'm like, ooh, let me see if I win the raffle first. Anyways, the store I bought it from, they're closing that location, so they had a store wide like 40% off sale. So like, oh yeah,
Hell
definitely.
yeah.
I knew I waited for a reason. So I ended up getting all these
Suckers.
comics. Yeah, so I ended up getting all these comics for like less than this one was originally. So I was hyped
Nice.
on
Good
that.
shit.
Very excited. But yeah, that's my haul for this week. I don't think I got anything else.
So this is sad, but also not really. I took my comics in, right. I was like, all right, let's just do this. Let's get out of the way. Let's just see. And I intentionally didn't look at my comics. I was like, no, if I start looking at my comics, I'm gonna like absolutely regret
Yeah.
get rid of them. Like I do not want to get rid of them, but because it's not even that many. It's like it's like a stack of like this much. I'm like I don't want to get rid of them, but whatever. So I took them in. Guys going through them, flipping through them. I'm like, oh, I forgot I had that one. Oh, I forgot I had that one. No, I don't want to sell it. And the guy's like, I can give you like $15 cash. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Cool.
Fuck you.
Yeah, he didn't.
I could give a middle finger, sir, and walk away.
Yeah, he didn't like look up a specific one. He's like, oh, this one for sure would have the most value. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not used to comic books because like people trade in by the massive bulk, you know. Whereas like even video games, you would look them up still individually. You wouldn't just eyeball it. But he definitely eyeballed
Unless
it.
you really knew your inventory, but even then,
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't trust anyone that doesn't double check.
Yeah, well, especially because like you can own your inventory all you want, but the market fluctuates so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, he told me which ones were worth more. But I'm like, no, that's fine. I was already like having instant regret as soon as as soon as you were folding through them. So I kept them, but we're going through my stuff still. I'm still trying to get rid of some stuff, but keeping the comics because then I felt good about those because there were some really fucking dope ass variants I kept. I'm like, yeah, those were sick. David, what'd you get?
Yeah. Before I get to that, real quick, I forgot one other thing I watched. I've been watching some more wrestling again.
Hell yeah, I love that.
Bash in Berlin was fucking great. Really solid pay per view. Gunther versus Randy Orton, fucking good match. God damn. It was good to see Randy Orton put over Gunther. Truly, Gunther is one of my favorites of modern era WWE. He's fucking going places. He's gonna have a good legacy. But also shout outs to this past Raw episode. I just have to point this out. They were in Calgary this week, and Bret the Hitman Hart appeared. A wild Bret. Always love to see Bret. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. And he was cutting a promo, and Gunther came out, and he's like, "Oh, Bret Hart, so great to see you." It's one of those things. I use your old matches all the time to train and study, because what can I say? I mean, you're my second favorite wrestler, and the follow-up is so insider baseball, but I fucking love it. He's like, you know what? My first favorite wrestler, though, is Goldberg. Which, for anyone that doesn't know the inside baseball of that one, Goldberg is the person Bret Hart basically contributes to ending his fucking wrestling career, because in a match they had together, the spot went wrong. He just simply told Bret to watch for the kick, and Bret's like, when are you gonna kick? And no other follow-up, and he just fucking straight up like kicks him in the fucking temple. Fucking side roundhouse kicks him in the temple, and gave Bret a concussion. And that was basically Bret didn't realize he was concussed, went on for like 2 weeks with a concussion, and then finally got his brain examined, and they're like, no, you're done. So he blames Goldberg for ending his career. And Goldberg, to this day, is still one of the few people that Bret has never forgiven. And even Bret laughed at that fucking line, just because I think he was taken aback for Gunther doing that level of fucking reference. But shout outs to that. Fucking A. I love Gunther. Falls into that category of like the perfect modern heel for me, where he's a douchebag, but he's got a point in a lot of ways, but also still knows how to like just poke and twist the knife in just the right ways. Man, I fucking love Gunther. Also, how can you not respect a dude who doesn't have a finisher? It's the wildest thing. The man has no finisher and fucking gets over without one. You don't fucking ever see that. But yes, as for what I got a fuck ton of shit because like I had a ton of pre-orders finally come in for some of my non-pre-order stuff. I got this for $3. I thought this was kind of neat. This was a Gen Con demo for a game called Earth and Beyond. I've never even heard of this game, but I'm like, it's a fucking Gen Con demo. When do you ever get your hands on something like that? I haven't gone looking to see if it's been dumped online yet, but if it's not, I'm gonna go do that. Shout outs to Play Asia. They had a sale a while back that I took advantage of because I wanted to go ahead and get some pieces that were missing from my collection. I got Moro Crystal H. This is a game that Adrian actually gave me a digital code for on Switch. It's basically a dungeon crawler RPG, except everyone is some kind of moe blob girl. So now I get a sealed copy that can sit there and stay sealed while I play my digital copy. Toho Luna Knights. Shout out to this game. I still need to play it, but I've watched a ton of gameplay footage. I'm a sucker for a good Metroidvania, and the Toho franchise is one I've been wanting to check out more and more as they get really good side games coming out. And from what I've seen of this game looks fucking peak. I feel like Metroidvanias. Also got a Dreamcast game, Zia and the Goddess of Magic. I forgot that PlayAsia sometimes has Dreamcast sales. Also, shout out to the 25th anniversary yesterday of the Dreamcast. So I got this weird little gem. I'm gonna keep this sealed because the seller actually does sell the game digitally. So I'll buy a digital copy of the game and just keep that sealed. And then also from PlayAsia, I got this pre-order item. Princess Maker 2 Regeneration. I have heard wild things about this fucking franchise. So because I'm going to presume none of you know what the fuck this is.
No clue.
This is a long-running like PC 98 game series that is a child-raising simulator. There's almost 100 endings in this game. Because the way that this game is designed is, again, like the wildest choose your own adventure. The whole point is you're raising your daughter and you're doing the best you can. And there's a lot of things you can do to raise your daughter. You can get them a part-time job, teach them in regular schooling, teach them sword fighting. And so like you can do everything from like teaching your daughter economics and getting her a business degree and kind of sending her to become a businesswoman to like, no, you're going to fucking learn to become a warrior and you're going to go out and save the world and send her to fucking fight dragons and demons and shit. Or things could go wrong along the way and she could end up working at a bar and then gets sold into sex slavery and becomes a prostitute against her will. Or other weird, heinous shit, like you send her out to go fight demons and dragons and shit, but ends up getting seduced by the demon lord and becomes her bride. Like, it's fucking wild and weird. Just the level of weird shit that can go on. It's like The Sims on crack. The PlayStation version does have a few of the endings taken out of it.
Fucking censorship.
Fucking censorship.
The woke mob.
The woke mob. You know what? It's one of the few times where
I agree with them.
I'm
Fuck
not gonna
'em.
get angry. Yeah, it's one of the few times I'm not gonna get angry with it. I still, on principle, disagree with it, but I'm not angry about it.
Why?
So the endings they took. The three endings they took out. One of them is along one of the potential like 100 endings you can get. There's this dude who grooms your daughter, and like he's meant to be like one of your friends, and he just sexually grooms her from childhood and ends up hooking up with her and marrying her at the end of the game. That's one of the endings they took out. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with that. You know,
You're okay with
morally,
grooming?
I'm fine with it. No, I'm okay with them taking the ending out. On principle, I don't agree with censorship, but I'm personally fine with that ending being taken out. And then one of the other endings that they took out is you marry your daughter. Yeah, I'm fine with them taking that fucking ending out. And then there's one other one that I don't remember the exact context to, but there's one other one they took out. They still left some of the darker ones, like they still kept the ending where your daughter can end up in fucking sex slavery, and all kinds of other heinous shit. It's called Princess Maker 2. I recommend. But I've always had like an interest in the series because it's just so wild to me. It fits that niche of like The Sims, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna watch this like digital family grow and age, but like instead of manually interacting with it and be like, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna take the ladder away or set the house on fire. It's like, no, I'm gonna watch this like small child grow up into a human being and either have really cool and amazing shit happen to them, or I'm gonna watch them fucking suffer in depravity. It's just like fucking next level Sims, and I don't know why,
What was?
but it scratches a part of my brain.
Where did you buy that one from? Because I'm looking at the eBay prices. I'm curious if
It's on Play Asia for like $25.
damn, eBay is selling it for 50. Is it sold out?
I didn't think it was. Let me check. But yeah, my pre-order was like $25. Also, shout outs to SVC Chaos that sold out, and I forgot about it. Even on Play Asia sold out there. Yeah, no, it's still $28 on Play Asia on Switch or PS5. If you want it uncensored and want to marry your daughter, you can go get the Switch version.
There you go.
But no, unironically, I think if you're the kind of person that likes The Sims, check this game out. Like, it's way more hyper involved than The Sims because you are literally just spending time investing in this child into her adulthood. But again, there's like 100 different endings you can get. It's kind of fucking cool. I really dig it in concept. Moving away from that a little bit, but staying on the Japanese games, I got fucking Muscle Ranking on PS1. Again, I have a problem with collecting cheap PlayStation 1 Japanese games. I need help, but it was $2. I can't help myself. I need help, but I can't.
I'm curious. If it got to a point where like you calculated how much just dollar here, dollar there games you spent, do you ever think you'd ever like second guess and be like, I trade 200 of those for like a holy a grail of yours?
No.
You rather have the lot?
I'd rather have the lot for two reasons. One is easier to monetarily justify to myself buying just like a cheap item, because in my brain I'm like, oh, I could go and grab like a chocolate bar, or I could fucking just buy this game. And in my brain, that's much quicker and simpler to rationalize, because my fat ass doesn't need another chocolate bar, but my wall needs another game to display. So there's that. There's also the thought of like, I always have buyer's guilt the second I buy a big ticket item. Anything over $50 and my brain immediately goes, no, you're a dumbass. Why did you do that? Why would you ever spend more than $50? How could you? And I guilt myself for a while on it. So it's more of an investment for me to drop more than that. I'll do it in the blink of an eye, but like I will guilt myself for a long time after.
Interesting.
So again, if it's like, I can go to, because again, literally, the fucking cost of a goddamn Twix bar is the same as what I paid for that fucking game. And that Twix bar is only temporary, but that game will sit and collect dust on my shelf forever. So I know where my priorities are.
I forgot.
Speaking.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
What else you got?
No, you.
What else did you get?
This was a quasi double dip. Because I already have one of the games in here, which is kind of frustrating because, you know, I love Devolver Digital, but I feel like they were kind of scummy in this one instance when it comes to Demon Throttle. Because the whole marketing of that game is like, this is the one time it's going to be physical, buy it or it's gone forever. And then they released the Doinksoft collection, which also has Demon Throttle. So I now have the individual game of Demon Throttle and this. And unfortunately, I have already opened Demon Throttle, I think.
That sucks. Yeah, that's the kicker, right?
So it's like, I kind of wish that Past Me hadn't, because then I could have kept that sealed and just used this.
Yep.
But also, I'm going to call a spade a spade. I would call out any other company for this. That's fucking shitty and scummy of Devolver Digital to make such a major part of Demon Throttle's marketing that was the one time you were going to get it. And now here we are with it here. Fuck you. I would say that's any other company. It's only fair I call them out for it as well.
I think it'd be funnier if it was like game not on cart digital download.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fucking wild. All right. So I got 4 more items to show, and we're ending it with fucking Peak. This pre-order finally came in. I started reading it a little bit earlier. This has been delayed for over a fucking year, and it feels so good to finally have it in my hands. I fucking A. What a wonderful journey. Fuck Stampede. We got the hardcover of Trigun.
Nice. Nice.
So fucking beautiful. Trigun I will be collecting all the hardcovers for. Just because Maxim didn't really run for that long. So it won't be that bad to go and get them all. Same thing with eventually I want to get all the hardcovers for Hellsing.
And Berserk.
But no, I'm never getting all the hardcovers for Berserk.
I'm like 6 deep on Berserk, and I'm already regretting it because they're so fucking.
Dude, I'm caught up on them, and it looks fucking amazing on the shelf. Dude.
It looks amazing.
They do.
It looks so fucking good on the shelf, dude. It's like I got one whole shelf row just dedicated to that. It looks slick as fuck, dude.
And see, my thing is like I've been trying to like read them as I go too, like because I know
fair.
I don't want to just get them and then just have them sitting on the shelf.
That's fair. Like I feel a little bad about it,
They're
but
so
dude,
good.
they are in my living room. Like that, they're like display piece. Like they look slick as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
oh, what's that about? Don't ask.
Yeah. I do keep some of my manga collections as display pieces. Like I have my Battle Angel Alita and my Claymore ones for display pieces. And then the rest of my manga goes into the library. This I might honestly keep as a display piece as well. I don't think I would want this in the library. I think I would want it to just be displayed. But
It looks like a Switch game far away, dude.
yeah, it looks like just a bunch of Switch games. You know what? Underneath the Switch games,
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind
Put
of
it-
blends.
Yeah, go ahead, put it back there, David. Oh.
And yes, Trigun is good. Don't ask David; he will wax poetic.
Hell yeah. Great set piece.
Yeah. Yeah, like a bunch of Switch games.
All right, David.
Speaking
next
of,
up.
the next up, we're just keeping going with the keynote here. Ace Attorney Investigations Collection.
Nice.
Mhm.
I need to cop that when I get paid.
Astrobot.
Yeah,
sweet.
I've been contemplating breaking my Black Friday rule for that right now.
And lastly, this was one of the most amazing fucking tabletop game deals I have seen in so fucking long. Like $300 of tabletop RPG goodness for $20. And that is the Wrath and Gory Collector set for Warhammer 40k.
Oh shit. Okay.
It contained, sadly, only the quick start rules. They cheaped out and didn't put the actual full rulebook for Wrath and Glory in there. But the quick start rules, like 12 adventure modules, dice for everyone, all kinds of tokens and goodies. Like it's just such an amazing collection of basically everything you need to run Wrath and Glory and then some for Warhammer 40k. And it was on clearance for $20.
Nice.
Normally for 300, and I was like, nope, can't pass
It's like
that
not even
up.
a clearance. It's like I just give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it's like here, pay shipping and you can have it.
Right.
But yeah, no, fucking stoked on that one.
Speaking of
Wrath-
board games, did y'all say Scythe was good? Because I remember you mentioned
Yeah.
it
Yes.
last week. 'cause
Highly
I-
recommend Scythe.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot
the one
of
that's
fun.
that's like the biggest one on my list still. Everyone always tells me to get that, so it's always on the top of my list.
Yeah, because
And
I
I
had
played that a
local
few
place I
times.
just got
Highly
it in,
recommend.
Yeah, I have a local place that got some in, and they had it on sale, so I was thinking about copping it.
Do it.
Go for it.
for sure.
If you like RTS games, it's basically board game RTS. And it has a really neat structure for how turns work, that everyone takes their turn at the same time.
Mm.
And it feels odd at first, But honestly, once like 10 minutes goes by and everyone has a flow for how the turn works, it goes super quick. And it starts to feel like you're playing an actual RTS.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And that was it. That's all I got.
That's fair. I forgot to mention. I said I didn't have anything. I forgot. Yeah, you reminded me. I got that Miles Edgeworth collection as well.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I heard that the first game was kind of mid, but the second game was amazing. Apparently, which is funny. That's the one that
That
never
game
showed
is
up.
phenomenal.
That's the one that never showed up to America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I played a fan translation of that ages ago.
Brody says, got down my list. If you guys want to consider a few more games for you guys' list, let's see how it goes first. We still have a few more things to talk about. Including, let's just jump in the news. Let's talk about the fun
Let's
one.
dunk on Sony.
So I almost had a spit take moment when I saw that on my fucking phone pop up with Morris before. I thought like $600, $700 is a lot. And
I
at that
saw a
$700
leak saying it was going to be 600.
I thought it was 600. I was like, all right, that's a lot, but I mean, $100 more than the base, I guess, whatever. And then $700, I'm like, holy shit. And then no disc or stand.
Nope.
And I'm
No
like,
disc
holy
or
shit,
stand, so you have to buy
$800.
those
It's just
separately.
$800.
So the disk drive for it, is it the same
Yeah.
as the one that they're currently? Okay, so that's one. I wouldn't even call it a positive, but it's not.
The neutral.
It could be worse. Like I was expecting them. Like no, it requires this PS5 Pro. Disk
That's
drive.
totally a Sony ass thing to do, but
Right.
Yeah.
nope.
No, I hate this on so many levels. One, because effectively after sales tax, you're paying $1,000 for a fucking console.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Absolutely fuck off. You tried this shit with the PS3, and at least the PS3 was a next console generation.
And the PS3
least
was
the
a
PS
Blu-ray whenever Blu-rays were stupid expensive. This one doesn't have a disc drive.
Exactly. This is a mid-console refresh that literally the only thing they have done is thrown in a new GPU. That's
But
it.
the AI upscaling, David.
Oh yeah. Fucking I'm so disgusted because this is them testing the waters to see what they get away with. Because 100%, if they're doing a mid-console refresh at 700 plus, PS6 is gonna be stupid.
I don't. I mean, I won't show. No,
Unless this fails, unless the PS5 Pro fails considerably, I suspect we're looking at what the PS6 is gonna be.
hold on.
This could result in it failing so bad that we no longer get pros, and I would be perfectly okay with that.
We don't need a Pro.
No, yeah, exactly. We don't need that.
Developers need time to be able to optimize shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
That'd
so
be great.
let's digest a few things. I don't necessarily think that means the PS6 is going to be more. The Xbox One X was $500 at launch. Xbox Series X is $500 at launch. So I think that shows there's some sort of semblance there. But then again, that it could definitely be more. But I'm saying there's
It's
potentially
literally the same model with an extra GPU, but no disk drive. We're again, it's that like, all right, again, we've already released the Slim and the diskless version, both versions that don't have disk drives, and now their Pro model doesn't have one. So we're gonna charge you a fucking premium and still make you fucking give a reach around to get a fucking disk drive.
Yeah. And for Sony specifically, it doesn't make sense, right? Like Xbox, we were seeing those leaks of those of the same thing happening on their end, which I have no doubt that it will happen on their end. They probably wanted to see how Sony would fare first, and then they might announce theirs soon afterwards. But it makes I mean, like, it's not any good, right? Especially when Microsoft preaches this whole like, oh, we're about game preservation. But then don't have a disk drive, right? But it makes a little more sense on them being that they're a Game Pass machine slowly, right? I think even Insomniac's leak showed that a lot of Sony first party games are still 60% physical game or physical cells. Now, that's Sony. When you look at third party is the opposite actually. Digital is above physical on that end. And I'm curious to see Kel's take because Kel's is the one with the digital PlayStation 5, right?
No, I have a disc.
Oh, you just never used it, right?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much my NCAA and Final Fantasy machine right now.
Okay,
But yeah,
fair.
no. So whenever I was hunting for one, and they were finally becoming more available, it was the Slim, right? And so the whole thing was like, oh, disc or no disc. Me, I want the disc regardless. So it was like, should I get the Slim and then get the disc add-on? How should that work? It's not even any cheaper. It's
No,
like, I think with tax and
it's
everything
a little
else, it
more
comes out to
expensive.
about the same. Yeah, it's more expensive, and there's like more effort to go into it because you have to like update your disk drive or whatever.
You
Like
have to put
update.
work into it.
Yeah, you have to put work into actually getting it operational. Meanwhile, this is just out the box, good to
Yeah.
go.
Um, I don't know. Like between at least David and I, having known him forever, I am definitely the more digital minded.
Mhm.
But with that said, I think I was thinking back to it, aside from Switch early days, because Switch early days, for whatever reason, I wanted to go all digital with Switch right away, which I guess it makes sense, right? I wanted to be all portable, but I swapped that pretty early on, like within the first year, I think I started going back to digital or physical. But ignore that. Uh, Alan Wake 2 is the only full priced AAA game I purchased digitally, and that's because it was the only option. I can't think of another game I purchased that at full price digitally.
I just don't think it's
Well,
like entirely feasible to go like fully digital where we're at right now. Like we only have like 1 terabyte hard drives in these consoles and shit. Like not speaking for like my computer because I have plenty of additional space, but just like on consoles, like whenever Call of Duty's taking up like 100, 200 gigabytes, and a lot of new games are super overinflated as well. I just don't think it's physical.
right,
It's like logistically
and
feasible.
I take that back. There are games I bought full price, but that's also kind of asterisk because it was humble. It's like I bought Tekken 8, right? And I got that with the 20% off.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm curious. I kind of want to look back and see because even Mortal Kombat I bought, but that was also like with like multiple discounts. I don't, especially on a console. Like I can't think of one I bought on console, digital, full price. I will specifically not do that because PC I
No.
can find like at least 20% off somewhere here or there. I don't even buy physical or I don't buy digital on consoles almost ever at all.
No.
It's Steam. I default to Steam first or
Yep.
Humble.
That's exactly where I'm at too. If I'm buying digital, it's going to be for my PC. If
Yeah.
I'm buying physical, it's either going to be my Switch or the PlayStation. And most of the times, it's going to be for my Switch, and then PlayStation is going to be like those games I just can't get on a Switch platform. The
Yeah.
higher definition games, the big games.
I'm curious when you put together how much the PlayStation line has cost, like especially with the PSVR 2,
Jesus
it's a
Christ.
hefty ass boy.
Yeah, that's why they're releasing the Pro to make up for the fucking market loss the VR2 cost.
And Concord.
And Concord.
It was originally it was originally $7. Fuck, we lost all that money. All
See,
right, just price it up a little bit. We got so originally had a disc attached to it, but the Concord fucked that up. And they're like, no, fuck it, take it off. We gotta squeeze some more money out of it. Take the fucking
yep.
stand out too. Fuck it.
Also,
what else
what
can we
a
do?
wild time to try and get away with a fucking $700 console. Say you don't care about the physical part, you just care about digital. Fine, $700 for the console. Way to release a $700 fucking console in a downswing economy.
Yeah,
I
the
think
audacity, right?
ignore that. I think way to announce it without any fucking new game to like show off. Like here's something coming out that's fucking taking advantage of it. No, it's like here's all the old games that you've already been playing right now. You can play
I
them
think on
They're
better.
top,
just enhanced.
and like on top of that, it was during like that tech meeting or whatever, the little tech showcase that they had.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the whole purpose of it. Yeah.
yeah, like normies aren't watching that, right? That's probably like the people that know or the people that follow that stuff, and
Mhm.
it's kind of like letting out the news with like a wet fart. It's kind of like, oh,
Hey, look,
by the
here's how,
way,
dude. I skimmed through it because first of all, I wasn't watching either way, so I skimmed
yeah, it's
through just
something
like
you hear secondhand through someone else, or it's
I
not something that gets like blam blasted in your face.
I respect Mark Cerny. I'm sure super great person. Just not very interesting like on
No.
video. But I skimmed through it and uh, I saw them comparing Last of Us Part 2 gameplay In which I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
that's interesting. And then Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I'm like, these are like old ass games that were like, hey, look at how good they look now. Like I don't want to go back to those. Well, one for obvious reasons. I don't want to go back to them at all. Let alone like I'm not gonna spend $7 to play old shit, right? Like
Also, congratulations. The game's now finally run at the resolution frame rate that you sold people on originally.
no, we're not at 8K
Right.
yet, David.
Yeah, I can
It's
pull that
true.
box out. It says 8K on it.
Yeah.
I laughed whenever I seen that shit.
Yeah. If I said, did y'all address that we don't have enough original IP statement from Sony?
Not yet.
That was a good one too.
Fucking
Ape
ridiculous.
Escape is right there, motherfuckers. Give it to me.
I think technically Ape Escape is owned by Konami, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
they can work something out. Silent Hill 2 came back, motherfucker. We can do something.
It should have. It really should have like had a brand new game. They should have dropped with it. It'd be like, hey, look, here's like this thing that blows everything out of the fucking water. But it's like, why
How
are we
did they
looking at old
not
shit?
announce Knack 3 with the PS5
I'm
Pro?
saying,
Right.
bro. I'm saying.
Perfect chance.
I don't know. I
I
don't really see. Like I tweeted this and I genuinely stand by it. And you can go back and listen to this. David can back it up for the over a
Hell
decade
yeah.
he's known me. I am not a PC gamer primarily. I am very much a console gamer by heart. I prefer the convenience over console 9 out of 100 days of the week. And I will choose console over PC 9 out of 100 days of the week. When you're getting this close to the sun with like $800, literally like $800 to match where you're at that point just buy a PC. Like at that point,
100%.
you can at that point build one. You can find a fucking pre-made one. Someone even posted one like you can find a pre-made one for $800 that could do your shit just fine. Like I think the payoff of that being around there, and then just how cheap games are on PC, the versatility, and then the fact that they're not going to disappear on you or any bullshit like that. I think that just wins out. So at that point, like you're getting too close to the sun. Just go for the PC at that point. And then this comes from someone that like I bought an Xbox One X at launch. I bought a PS4, the God of War PS4 Pro. You know, like I play enough of my Xbox that if it's not egregious and it does something not, if it doesn't trash fire it as bad as this, I may even consider an Xbox Series X Pro just because I play my Xbox a fuck ton. But I'm nothing in this generation has made me feel like I need a Pro. Last generation, it felt like, yeah, we're kind of hitting the edge, and like I can see the bumps that we had that was like, all right, cool, like everything we saw an improvement, but I'd see zero reason with that when we can't even hit the fucking things that we were targeting and asking for day one. So why the fuck are you making me pay $300 more 4 years later for what you promised me day one, right? Like it's kind of ridiculous. I genuinely, unless there's like some like, which is possible, GameStop does like some crazy like, here's $450 for your fucking PlayStation.
No,
they already dropped the value
they
at
dropped that.
GameStops.
Did they?
Yeah,
Because I saw one. I saw it for 385 at one.
Yeah, there was a post that went up that they dropped the value of trade-ins by like half.
Yeah, I seen because they did it for Pro and regular members. I think regular was like 200 and Pro was like 250 or something for a trade-in for the slim models.
Yeah.
And occasionally there are some wild bonus trade-in stuff though. So
Right.
unless there is one, which
thing.
there very well maybe one towards launch, but it'd have to be like almost give my entire money back at that point, because spending I don't even feel inclined to spend $200 or $300 to upgrade my PS5 when I haven't been that impressed with it this generation. I'm like, nah, I don't really.
Truly, what should have happened is this should have been a situation where you drop this at most 600, but really this should have been dropped at the 500 that the launch model was, and then you go ahead and you drop the launch model.
You know they can't
down
do
to,
that
like,
because
300.
they've been increasing the price. Like Japan, which is fair because that's a whole like different thing, but Like Japan just had an increase of price by like $50, I think. The
Fucking wild.
DualSense has been going up $5.
Disgusting.
So
I got pee again.
he's,
And that news makes me so angry. I must pee.
he's got an angry pee. Let's see. I'm curious. I'm looking at the stuff now. God damn, you're. Oh well. Wait, what the fuck?
Meanwhile, Nintendo holds strong and will never release a Pro model.
Okay, so yeah, like my PS5 right now would go for $385, which is not bad, but again,
Is that including your Pro membership, sir?
yeah, I have Pro.
Of course you do.
Yeah, well, it's $5 every month. Like, what the fuck? It technically pays for itself.
But dude, the coupon, man. You don't
Well-
even get Game Informer anymore. Why are you still paying for that?
I don't. Well, I definitely paid for it earlier because you could always go in every month and just get a $5 free digital.
Right. Yeah.
So I would go in and just say like, hey, can I get like $5 Steam? And they just give me $5 Steam.
That's clutch.
Yeah, I don't know if they do that anymore, but it's like at this point I just go in there for whatever. But 385 from a PS5 is like not shabby. If it was straight 700 with disc and everything in it, I would potentially maybe consider that trade through. But when you calculate the extra disc drive on that shit and the fact that I got to do work to fucking add that shit in there, no, I'm good. Like, give me $500 for my PS5 and I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think 600 is the sweet spot.
600 would have had me contemplating it for sure.
Yeah, I think 700 pushes it out of the realm of possibility for me because I'm like, no, I'm good. And honestly, like nothing I've played so far on this, like
It doesn't feel like
demands a Pro.
it doesn't even feel like I'm like, oh, this could be so much fucking better. You know why? Because PC
Right.
is just there.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's literally been nothing that I've played that's like requiring a Pro or like makes me like feel like I need a Pro. So yeah, there's like no profit incentive to do so.
Did you see that? I think what was it? It was recently that the Series S was going for like 285, I think, as well.
Oh shit.
Yeah, at that point I was almost gonna be like, all right, I'll take it. They got my exact money
Yeah.
back. You hear me that, David?
No.
We're looking at the GameStop trade-ins, and the regular PS5 will go for 385 still.
Gross.
Which I mean that's not bad. It's $100 some dollars less for something you've had for what, 4 years. But the Series S was I think going for like 260, 280 recently, which is like almost exactly how much it cost to begin with. So I was like contemplating it for a second. I was like, hey, if you want it back, that's fine. Fucking take it. But yeah, no, there's nothing warrants it. And yeah, Kels was saying $600 would have been a better sweet spot where it's like, all right, I can consider that. But like, so
That's $600 for someone that doesn't already have a PS5. I can be like, you know what? Fuck it. Just kick in the extra $100, go and get the console. But that's if with the caveat of if it had a fucking disc drive as well.
Right.
yeah. So with the 385, there is a realm which there is a universe at $385 that I would have traded my PS5 today, and just booked a pre-order for a $700 PS5 Pro if it had everything with it. But the fact that like, okay, it's gonna be about $770 before tax, and then I have to do fucking work to add that shit to the fucking console. Nah, I'm good. Like, I'm totally good. $600, I would have probably done that today. I would have been like, all right, cool. Traded that in. Extra what? $215. Upgrade it and make it last for a little while. Sure. But at this point, just wait for the PS5 or PS6. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think at 600, that's like a day one for a lot of people. That's like almost a no-brainer.
You think Microsoft's eyeballing
Again,
that now?
if it had a disc drive.
Yeah, it has a disc drive.
The Microsoft is eyeballing that price and being like,
I think what's going to happen is basically what happened with Saturn and PlayStation 1, where Microsoft saw that and they're like, all right, we're going to go under. They're just gonna show up, be like, "Yeah, it's fucking cheaper. Go buy our upgraded version." And then next month, when Nintendo unveils the Switch 2, they're gonna laugh and go $400, and then
That's
everyone's
why I
just
think
gonna
it's
buy
gonna
fucking
be.
Switch 2.
Yeah, that's why I think it's gonna be really fucking funny is when the Switch 2 just comes in and undercuts like everyone.
Yeah, but even then, you think about
I
Switch
can't wait for that shit.
Switch 2, like spending $400 on a Switch right now also does not feel very nice.
I'm perfectly fine with it just due to the fact I've had my Switch for so fucking long and I've been begging for a Switch.
Yeah,
$400 is a day one for me for a Switch.
you know
2.
the you know why
Easily. I wouldn't blink at 400.
you know
for a
why
Switch
though
2.
I feel like that because I feel like I'm shocked we never saw a real Switch price drop.
That's for sure too. Well, the
I mean, we kind of did with like
the
the
Switch
Switch
Lite.
lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like an actual Switch price drop, right? Like we've never
see,
we
they
saw a
do it
Switch
weird,
price upgrade
right?
with the fucking OLED.
Yeah, I was
I
about
mean,
to say they do
yeah.
it weird, right? Because they introduce different models, and that's kind of like how they introduce a price drop to it. It's like, oh, it's not $300 because you can get the Switch Lite for $150.
Yeah, do you see those pictures of the GameCube at $99 at fucking Walmart though?
Right.
Yeah.
God damn. Days, dude. Those were the days. But I mean, like, yeah, no, I'm on board for a Switch too. Like that's fine with me. Nintendo's gonna be totally fine with like, all right, hey, what's up, y'all? Here's this. Take it. Cool. Thanks, y'all. But that easiest slam dunk in the world just now.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
With
Sony's literally shooting themselves in the foot, and it's just up to Microsoft and Nintendo not to be fucking idiots about it.
Which good news for fucking Sony. Microsoft is always a fucking idiot about it. So
Exactly. There's at least one out of the other two that are fucking dipshits.
right. Anyway, let's talk. Is there any other news?
let
Astrobot's
me
been
check
looking
real quick.
amazing. Shouts to
Yeah.
that. I really want to play that game. I'm really tempted to buy that. The Costco had the controller and the game for 120 as a bundle. And I was like,
Ooh.
that would have been cool because the controller looks so cool.
Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl.
Stop it, he's already dead.
Yeah,
It-
it'd be like 100 million people chanting Drake's a pedophile.
Dude, Not Like Us is number 2 again. It's like, dude, that
just recharge.
it literally just constantly recharges. And it's gonna go back up again, at Super Bowl time. So
Also, we didn't really touch on it, but shout out to Linkin Park touring with a rape apologist. Good.
So okay. Let's reel it back a little bit. She did come out and say that she did defend him at first, but she did not know the full extent of everything. She was defending a friend and then found out all that and then pedaled back. We do have no confirmation confirming or denying her stance on the Church of Scientology. With that said, the songs that Linkin Park sings, including the one they just released, I don't feel like Scientology would be very happy about that. About those specific songs, it does not fit the vibe for them. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give them. I think she did great. I think stepping into that role is daunting. But I'm definitely gonna give him a shot. Let him do that.
Absolutely not. I will not give anything for money towards Linkin Park at this point. Fuck that.
I mean, I get it, but I'm willing to give someone some benefit. I also know that the band's smart enough to probably have done some of their homework to be like, all right, hold on, let's.
I don't think so. Because honestly, as we just saw with even fucking Dave Grohl, I don't think you can fucking trust people. So
Yeah, but I mean that's doing your homework versus like not knowing.
yeah,
something,
they did their homework and they didn't care. They moved on.
What is it? Don't attribute to malice what can be attributed to stupidity. I think that's just all it is. They're just probably they've seen the light at the end of the tunnel and didn't do every bit of due research that probably should have. Or maybe they're Scientologists too.
I didn't know that.
They're also rape apologists, but
I didn't know that Chester Bennington, one of his sons, has been a massive conspiracy person, like very mentally ill. Like,
is that the one like talking about like how they're like tarnishing his legacy and stuff? Or is
yeah, he says that he's convinced that his dad was murdered. that one of the band members slept with his mom or the wife and this whole thing. And I think I forget what outlet interviewed him, which is like pretty scummy. He's like, dude, this guy's like off the rocker right now, and it's really kind of
Yeah, you're taking advantage of this dude.
yeah to give him an outlet to do that, which is extreme. Yeah, you agree? Cool. Is there anything you're gonna talk about? I gotta feed her because she's getting cranky. Before we get back to our list.
I mean, I can find things to talk
Well,
about
we
if we need to kill dead air.
We mentioned James Earl Jones earlier.
Yeah, you guys want to talk about that?
Well,
We also lost a comic book artist.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with it. Mr. John Cassidy, R.I.P. He was the artist for Astonishing X-Men, co-creator for one of my new favorites, Armor. Yeah, it's really sad. Astonishing X-Men had a lot of really cool stuff in it, and a lot of really great art. Original voice of Splinter also passed away. God damn it! Don't tell me this.
Fucking hell.
What the fuck, dude? Yeah, and John Cassidy, I think he was only like 51 or something like that. Like, still super young guy. Like, I mean, not like a child, but still plenty of life. Really sad.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
No, it's they say it happens in threes, but it's obviously more than that. It feels like. Oh yeah. Also, shout outs. The presidential debate's been going on.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I just seen that my trending.
Yeah, I look forward to watching that at work tomorrow. But everyone knows the real Tuesday night watch event is always Blue Rupees.
Exactly. That's where you need to be.
Exactly. Also, shout outs to Ricochet. Going back to wrestling real quick. Going back to Japan, he has signed up with AEW, but he's going to do a Japan tour. And honestly, some of Ricochet's best work has been in fucking Japan. I reposted an amazing clip of him doing a double moonsault. Honestly, go check out some of the dude's work. He's phenomenal. WWE did him dirty. Truly one of the only really decent things they did with Ricochet is I loved his tag team with Braun Strowman, and I wish they had fucking continued that. That was honestly such a fun tag team, but fucking A. Oh, we didn't talk about the Minecraft movie.
Oh god, I forgot about
We
it.
didn't talk about Jack Black, another apologist of horrible things, being Steve in this shitty looking fucking Minecraft adaptation. Remember, Minecraft is for children. It's not for you. You don't have a right to be angry.
Jack Black sold out his best friend for fucking Minecraft and Claptrap. 2 movies
Yeah.
Absolutely bomb.
What a piece of shit. That is a betrayal that still hurts a lot. Is fucking Jack Black.
And I think like every day that passes, it looks worse and worse.
Yeah.
Like it just does, like there's no I don't feel like there's any sort of like redeeming factor for him due to like in this situation. Like not a bit of it makes Kyle look worse in any sense.
No. But yeah, shout outs to Kotaku, who wrote a piece saying, sorry, the Minecraft movie isn't meant for you. Which is the weirdest, I'm gonna assume, propaganda paid article.
Right.
Where
good.
Basically it amounts to the author saying, well, my kids are interested in it, so clearly you just don't get it. Minecraft is the top selling video game of all fucking time. Minecraft is the one game to usurp Tetris. As much as I shit on Minecraft for not being my cup of tea, you know what else is a fucking kids movie? And I retweeted this. The fucking Secret of Nim.
Right.
That dark, beautiful film was a fucking kids movie. Honestly, I've been looking through some of the discourse on this because I am definitely of the opinion, don't fucking talk down to children. 100%. Maybe this is why I don't have children, because they would be either hyper adjusted or horribly adjusted. There's no in between. Um, but I get disgusted with a lot of children's productions that talk down to children. Like, I actually, my partner and I went to go visit a friend of hers that came up to Maine to visit for a little bit, and they have a wee little child, and this wee little child's fucking favorite show is Bluey. And I've heard a lot about Bluey, but being as I don't have a wee little child of my own, I had no exposure to it really prior. Uh, and you know what? For a fucking Australian kid show, that's a dark fucking show at times.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. The level of, like, adult situation and adult expectations they put. That is, like, one of the most #1 children selling things right now, aside from fucking Peppa Pig. But no, Minecraft, you gotta talk down to the kids. Children don't need good, engaging, thought-provoking media.
Are we
They
talking
can't
about
handle
the trailer?
it. Yeah,
I am Steve.
fucking disgusting.
The lighting looks like ass, which someone pointed out, which is absolutely true.
Everything about that looks like ass, which is absolutely true. And fuck Kotaku once again for trying what I'm going to do is presumed paid piece to try and protect the film.
All right, we ready to do this?
Last thing, real quick. Also, the trailer dropped for Mr. McMahon, the documentary that Netflix was working on about McMahon. And it's wild the tone difference that it's had behind the scenes. A lot of behind the scenes information has come out about this already. When this was first pitched, it was meant to be like, all right, Netflix is going to get WWE content. And we're going to do this documentary on Mr. McMahon. And it's going to be, and now that you know the man, come watch WWE on Netflix. Then after all the allegations really started flooding and coming out about McMahon, apparently behind the scenes, people have said, no, this has turned into like a 2-shovel fucking burial of McMahon. Which fucking good. Fucking good.
Right.
I'm so excited to fucking see this because we live in a golden age of wrestlers finally fucking lifting the fucking dirt from the business and being and holding a fucking mirror to it. Shout out to Dark Side of the Ring by Vice. Phenomenal fucking reporting.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of respect for Tommy Dreamer because of that. The way he defended Ric Flair for the sexual assault shit. Fuck off. Absolutely fuck off. RVD was weirdly one of the fucking real ones on that one about the plane ride from hell. But I'm still slowly going through all that. My partner can only take so many episodes before she needs to tap out for a while. But we've been going through that one together. And then she keeps reminding me I'm not allowed to actually go back into wrestling. I'm not allowed to go back and refinish my training, which is sad because I want to do it. But I remind him, I learned recently, apparently DDP was 35 when he got into wrestling proper.
Oh, shit.
Which I didn't realize that.
Shout out to Batista, by the way. His picture's been going around about him being skinny. You see that now?
Yeah.
You mentioned that recently?
Yeah, he basically was like, yeah, I could get into like ring shape, but I don't want that stress. I don't want that.
No, fuck that, dude. That shit sucks.
I'm enjoying life just being an actor. It's wonderful.
Yeah. No joke.
So,
but yeah, fuck McMahon. I'm excited for this burial McMahon. I know they got Bret Hart on the documentary, and there's no love lost between McMahon and Bret Hart. So I'm excited to see what happens with that.
before I say what I was going to say, you probably ask, is there a playlist or a channel that goes over highlights of WWE? I want to know more about it. So I watch some of the docs. If I recall, let me answer before you guys do, because you guys don't have the right answer, but let me see if I'm near. Is it WWE content so fucking heavily copyright, like, do not fucking put a fucking millisecond of it in there, therefore, like, you can't find, like, real highlight clips or anything, because they take it.
They
all of
get
it.
hyper ridiculous about it.
So then where can you go for that?
There are two channels I recommend the most for different reasons. One, if you want to get into like especially the storytelling of a lot of classic of Attitude Era WWE, Wrestling Bios is the number one I recommend. Wrestling Bios does a lot of just sporadic documentary style stuff of wrestling, but he also has a series called Reliving the War, in which he has done a weekly episode for the last like 4 years of every episode of Raw and Nitro that have gone head to head. So you can basically get like the fucking Cliff Notes version of all of the Attitude Era as it happened.
That would be cool to relive. I feel like going back and rewatching those old crossovers.
It's phenomenal. There's so many matches I forgot. There's so many things. It was like, oh fuck, I remember being a kid in school and seeing that. Like, oh my god.
I totally didn't even realize debates going on. By the way.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier too. So that's one I recommend for a lot of like really. Wrestling Bios puts a fuck ton of work into their stuff. I highly recommend them for that purpose, and especially if you want like storyline breakdowns, he does a lot to like really break down like a character storyline or what makes this character work. Alternatively, there's one called Marky D123, I think is his name. I have to pull it up here in a little bit. But he does kind of more of like a character piece. He calls himself Hawk Hogan in his videos, obviously parodying Hulk Hogan. And he does a lot of what's called Ring of the Hawk, which is meant to kind of analyze a shorter run of a wrestler. So any wrestler that had like 30 or less matches in a particular run with the company, he'll do a complete breakdown analysis of that run. Highly recommend those. They have a lot more of like a juvenile-ish humor to them, but at the same time, if you're wanting to just like get an idea for different wrestling storylines and different wrestling characters, he does a lot of breakdowns like that that are really good, and because they're meant to be like shorter runs, it's good to get a good digestible amount. He actually, speaking of which, rest in peace, Psycho Sid, he did one recently with one of Sid's runs in WCW where he broke down his last run at that company. So I highly recommend those two.
We need to just get you to spin off a wrestling podcast at this point.
Honestly, real talk, I wanted to with Gore, and we all know how that turned out. So,
yeah, and if I need to set something up for you to do it with someone, because you have like this whole thing. Oh, speaking of you having this brain for random shit, I'm about to go off the rails. Hold on a couple of times here.
Oh yeah, let's go. Buckle up.
First time, one of, and I've known this. I had this student last year, but they love Persona 5. Fucking love Persona 5. And I've only mentioned in passing. Little do they know, but like mentioned in passing, and they were kind of sitting alone today because we had this whole senior thing, and they were sitting alone at a table, kind of like loner style. And I was like, all right, let's have a good talk, because her and I never talk. We talk, but like, they never built that bridge with me. You know, I don't expect every kid to want to do that. You know, not every student wants to like. I'm not asking every student to like have a strong rapport. It's like, if you want to, cool. If not, do your thing. Like, I'm not gonna be weird and force shit. That's weird. But I'd have a talk with them, talk about Persona, and then we started going off, and they mentioned that they love Persona 3 the most, which is funny, David.
Oh, that's weird. My buddy thinks it fucking sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I did go through, but they are a fan of everything. So like they are going through all Persona games. Like they're starting the duology soon.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Talked about all that stuff. It's again high school, so like they don't have most access to everything, but we're talking like she's like into this where she's like emulating shit on her phone and stuff. She was trying to get duology, but I guess the emulator didn't really translate that well into that. And correct me if I'm wrong, David, you didn't like Persona 4?
No.
Well,
Persona 3 and 4 I never got into.
she didn't like Persona 4 either. So there you go. You got at least
Hell
got
yeah.
yeah, you at least got that. Uh, I don't lend games to students ever. Like we talk about that. That's the weird thing. But they're like so gung ho, and I feel so bad because they're like, I want to play Strikers so bad.
Hmm.
But they don't have access to a console or a PC, and they're like one of their friends has it on their Switch and have to download a whole account. So I'm like, and they're like, it's so expensive. I'm like, it's like $20. It's $20 every once in a while, and I was like, I can try to let you know when it was a sale. There's like part of me where like, I might just let you borrow that game. It's a $20 game. I trust them because like again they're like a second year back student. I'm like, I also I warned them. I was like, there's a reason why people like it on Switch that much because these load times, but also high schoolers don't get a pick. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you don't get to pick and choose. Like you get, but I was like, I might let them borrow that because like I see like there's just like Persona 5 all over their stuff. Like they love it. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think that they probably appreciate being able to play Strikers, and I feel like because that's the only time that my Switch copy would ever be used, right? Like I'm playing it on PlayStation, so I'd feel
Yeah.
So I'd feel I'm like I'm gonna do that. Okay, next. Oh, I did mention that and they're impressed by you because I did say that you're big on SMT. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I mentioned that you had that one copy of like one or four people have or whatever.
The Giten
I
Megami
don't know.
Tensei.
I was never gonna say that, but I was like, they have something like that, and they were like super impressed by it.
I also have the development cartridge for Devil Children Ice Kids.
None of that. I don't know what those words are, but I just said they have some rare shit on that, and they like SMT a lot. But anyway, yeah. So they thought you were cool, even though you would hate their Persona 3 thing. But you know what? I feel like because they like Persona so much, you'd respect their opinion because they probably have a thorough opinion of Persona 3.
Yeah.
I had laughed earlier because I'm looking through Twitter and I saw Nickelodeon should host the next presidential debate and have SpongeBob and Patrick moderate it.
Hell yeah.
That'd be so
Loser
funny.
gets slimed.
I'm hearing there's a lot of really good highlight clips from this, so we'll have to go
yeah.
back and see.
I'm excited.
I think
So,
there was a moment where Kamala paused for a second, and I guess it felt like everyone else felt like she was really about to call Trump a dumbass for a second, but she had that one pause. Where Kels,
that would be so awesome, though. Imagine
just
that.
call him a dumbass, please.
Yeah, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I really just felt like a "Are you fucking kidding?" moment.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
That would
You know what?
play
This is why
so
we need
well,
YouTubers running for president.
for real. Or even just that Jim staring to the camera.
Yeah. Kels, you gonna say something?
I was gonna say another piece of news that we didn't talk about. Was it Destin Daniel Creighton? He's gonna be directing Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, we'll see how that
Who?
goes. The Shang-Chi guy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm curious. I'm not one way or the other with it.
I'm hype on that. I was kind of hoping the dudes that did the most recent Bad Boys, Abdil and I forget, it's a duo guy. They
Oh,
did
that'd be
Miss
cool.
Marvel as well. I was kind of hoping that I think that'd be cool because they bring a really fun, energetic, like frenetic pace to stuff. But I think this dude has a really good. I think he came from like the stunt side.
He has
So
Interesting.
he has that Disney. What do you do on Disney? The
Was it American Born Chinese?
yeah.
Chinese Born American?
And I was watching some of that with the girlfriend because she was going through that, and it seemed pretty cool. There's a lot of hand stuff.
Yeah, I think his eye for like action is really good. So I think that could be really cool. But Spider-Man's not one of those ones that you think like martial arts straight off the top. It's more like acrobatics, a lot of like less
Parkour.
hand-to-hand, more like more like CGI, more like flippy, gymnastic-y. So that'll be interesting because there is a big storyline where Shang-Chi kind of teaches Peter kung fu, and they kind of develop like his own like spider.
You know,
kung
so you
fu.
think Shang-Chi's gonna show up in this?
That would be cool. I'd like to see
You know
it.
what though, I agree, but also I want one Spider-Man. Just let him be alone. Let him do his thing. Let be
That's true.
because they keep saying, oh, we're gonna.
He
I'm like,
spent his entire
him-
MCU career in the shadow of Iron
yeah,
Man.
let him just be his own character for one fucking movie. That's it, and then do whatever.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's just a cool story because the whole thing is he loses his spider sense, and that's when he realizes like, oh, I rely on this way too much.
Yeah,
So he goes to Shang-Chi, and they kind of develop a fighting style for him that's not going to get him really hurt
That's
without
cool.
being able to predetermine.
I didn't watch it Aproni, but Aproni says the Bad Boys clip where it goes first person was crazy. The behind the scenes of that was awesome to look at.
Yeah, and they have some really other cool shots. Like they do a lot of really cool stuff with drones that just not being done yet, and it's like outside of the box that like Michael Bay is kind of painted for your typical drone photography now, or like your stock like horror footage, like following through a wooded area quick. They do a lot of like the first person like racing drone, a lot of real energy to their shots.
Nice.
It's just really cool.
You
to
know
see.
what? Fuck it. Bring the hardcore Henry director in.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like we haven't gotten anything else like that before, and that's some shit that I like to see.
My some of the film boys were making a first person film for their one shot, and they mentioned Hardcore Henry being that. I was like, did you guys hear about how that movie came out in theaters and people kept vomiting all over the place? And they put caution signs. Like, really? I'm like, yeah, it got people sick, so they just kept vomiting all over the place. Good times.
It's fucking sick. It's so cool.
Literally, yeah. Last thing before we go to these games. So speaking of shitty people like McMahon, I've had to explain again. Like I'm talking about this last week. My shitty reality TV is DSP, right?
Hmm.
He's having this dumb renaissance where he thinks he's invite people on his podcast, quote unquote podcast, interview them, and he thinks he's hot shit. He invites the guy that interviewed him last year on, but the guy like he thought it was gonna go perfect. He's like, all right, we're gonna be friends after this. It's gonna go fine. I'm gonna get him to apologize to me. DSP got mad at him for not checking his email within 24 hours. In 23 hours, he's like, I emailed you after this and you didn't check it. He's like, I have a family, and I got off the internet. I did a show, and then I responded to you. You should be thankful. I got to it within a day. And DSP's like, look, you admitted it. You ignored me. That's the same as ignoring me. He's like, no, it's not. I didn't check my email. But it's amazing. I love that that whole thing is so fucking good because DSP is fucking weird. But it ended with him like really talking like saying, you just used me for this and that, and like I've been waiting years for someone that he likes to just like snap back at him in real life, and just like at one point he just goes through this whole rant. The guy he's interviewing or the guy that he invited on goes his whole rant like, Phil, like I've been nothing but courteous and this to you, and for you to insult my character, I mean this with all due sincerity, Phil. Go fuck yourself. I was like, oh dude, it was so good. I felt so vindicated. I showed the girlfriend. I was like, I hate this guy, and it's been so nice to have someone to say that to him. I've been trying to say that to him for years. Just say it through the screen for me, please. So that whole drama has been amazing. It's been so the interview, yeah. Uh, DSP and Stuttering Craig was an interview. It's online. A lot of tractors clipped out the whole thing, so you can watch it. Don't watch DSP's because DSP tries to spin it saying, "Oh look, he told me to go fuck myself. Like he's gone full mask off." And then DSP tried to be cool about it and tried to tell him to go fuck himself back, but he like left the call before he could tell him that. Yeah, it was funny. I love it. It's so funny. It's so funny. All right, let's talk about these games, guys. Let me let me pull this up here. All right, we're gonna get a quick refresher on this. All right, I'll resize this out. If anyone on stream needs to go look, it is now on there. I zoomed out and I will zoom back in. Last week, each of us three put together about 25-ish games to propose on this list of top 25 that we will have all together of games that you should play, essentially. I think it's just like a must play list. Maybe that's the best way we can describe it. If anyone wants to pose that, yell it out now if we're not getting definitions, but I feel like it's probably like a must play list. Is that where we're landing on?
Sure.
Yeah.
And we're trying to be comprehensive in that it covers everything. It's a little bit of everything for something for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And so right now it says top 25 quote unquote because there's a lot of games on this list. Let's go through just some of them. Okay. Actually, let's go through all of them. Top 25. The Walking Dead. And I think we should preface this with season 1. The Walking Dead season 1. Doom 2016. A Link to the Past. Alan Wake 2. Red Dead 2. Silent Hill 2. Chrono Trigger. Edith Finch. Grim Fandango. Nier Automata. Yakuza 0. Fallout New Vegas. BioShock. Halo Reach. Divinity Original Sin 2. Burnout 3 Takedown. Skate 2. Mass Effect 2. Resident Evil 7. Elden Ring. BioShock. The House of Fata Morgana. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. StarCraft. Earth Defense Force 5. Gunstar Heroes. Limbo. Stardew Valley. Last of Us. Call of Duty Black Ops To the Moon. And Marvel vs. Capcom 2. We had a maybe down here with Donkey Kong Country. And we have a lot of other ones that we put asterisks up here that we want to come back to. So what we're going to do first, now that we have this list, we're going to go back, clean this list up, and execute or add any of these games that we put a little asterisk on what we're coming back to, all right?
All right.
So we're coming back up, all the way back up to Kells, back up here. Okay, Kells, we had Metal Gear Solid up here. Do you believe and do you stand by it belonging on this list of top 25?
Or does it make you Metal Gear flaccid?
I am Metal Gear rock hard, brother.
Well,
And I think Metal Gear 3 at the very minimum. Gear Solid 3.
okay, so what we're gonna do?
Deserves a spot.
We're gonna add. And we're not gonna fight it out. Let's add or kill. That's all we're gonna do right now, right? Let's add or kill. And that way we can just get through this list and look at it as a whole. So, Metal Gear
right.
Solid 2. Are we gonna add DK
Dang.
Country? Are we feel like is that a thing here? Because
I feel like it should be in consideration. It should be part of the conversation.
Okay. Okay. Going back up. Banjo Tooie.
Ooh.
I think we voted that one out for another platformer, right? I could be wrong.
I think that's part of where we started getting into the conversation of like Donkey Kong Country and shit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, because I think I also had I had Mario Odyssey. Would I have Mario Odyssey on there? Or Mario Galaxy?
Yeah.
And we were
Mhm.
contemplating a fight between some of these.
Scratch.
So I guess, Kels, would you say
Move on.
Banjo Tooie is better than Mario Odyssey and or Donkey Kong Country?
Or Galaxy.
Or Galaxy, rather.
I'd say better than. I mean, I feel like it's a different niche. Like for me personally, I'd say yeah, but I mean, I know it's not like the critically acclaimed one out of them. That's why like this list kind of got to me. It's like, what's the what personally resonates with you, and what do you think's like authentically like a good. I don't know, and it's also who are we recommending it to, right? Is it to someone that's like a hardcore gamer that wants like the long good experience, or is it someone that's
You gotta
here's a
find that middle ground.
bite-sized-
Something that
Yeah.
kind of hits them a little both.
Right.
So
But yeah, no,
in the
I think
interest-
we got the platformers covered.
in the interest of time, what we're gonna do is it's gonna be kill or
Kill it.
add only by the person. So for like David's list,
Okay.
I don't have a say. Cal doesn't have a say.
All right.
Cool,
I'll
so-
shut up then.
You say add or kill.
Kill it.
Kill it. Okay. It's what is it again? It is Alt Shift 5. Okay. Dishonored 2.
I'd say add.
All right. Pokemon Crystal.
Kill.
All right, and that's it. David, you had nothing. Oh no, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I feel like that's it. That's
I
it.
think that needs to
We
be
need to talk
part of
about
the
it.
conversation. Yeah.
All right. What did I have in here? Galaxy and Hollow Knight. I'm gonna say add to both. I think they're both gonna be a conversation.
That's fair.
Okay, now here's where we're at. This is our full list now. We added our finals. I think the only way we really like oh god.
I was gonna say just number them real quick so that way we have that.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting work emails and I hate how I get work emails at almost 9 p.m.
Feel that.
38. The only way I'd say that something differs from here is if it's like a same series swap. So for example, and let's do like a quick one. Skate. If we're talking about like it's Skate 3 fits here more than Skate 2, then we can swap that out. But I think at this point, are there any other last second additions that anyone feels like was egregious that we just did not touch on?
No, because honestly, I
No.
think if anything, we do a part 2 one day.
Okay. All right. So
Crazy Pepperoni wants to know if it's okay to show his list now.
send me your list. We're gonna focus on getting this one down, and wait, never mind. Whenever you're ready,
Okay.
send us our list, but we're gonna focus on getting this one nailed down. I'm thinking of this. How about we each, right now, go on a page. Or can you guys type on this or no? Actually, how do we do this? I'm thinking of this. Let me tell me this if you guys aren't
I was
okay
gonna
with this.
copy it into my own text pad.
I was gonna say this. What I would say is, why don't we each take about 30 seconds, and we have to each select 5 games that we think we can cut from this list, and any of them that receive 2 or more votes are out.
Ooh, 5 games to cut. Okay.
Kells, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have edit access to this?
Technically, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do mine in a separate text file though.
Says I can request.
Make it cleaner.
Okay, so go ahead and just text it and then put it in Discord. How about that? So once you're done writing it, we'll give about another minute. Interfere with it right now. Like send it, send it out. Send it for a later time, and we'll look it over too for sure. Okay, so starting now, 1 minute. What are 5 games you feel like you can cut from this list right now? This is a solid list though. Even if we didn't cut anything though. Okay. Boom. Dead air, but I'm still talking, so we're good.
Man, this is fucking hard.
It is. It's a pretty solid list. I don't see much fat, honestly.
Yeah, no, there's not a lot of fat. We could have easily done a top 50 and still not had enough room.
This is true.
Oh man, fucking! I'm down to 13. How do I get this down to 5? Oh shit!
Damn. All right.
I'm also wanting my brain is still wanting to also make sure that like there's still a flavor of representation.
We will
So,
discuss
like,
this, but like it's like you have to make the best case to the 2 people that voted you out, right?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, I think I have 3.
I got 5. Yeah.
Before I send it on Twitter or Discord, send it on Twitter. I'm not actually. You send it on Discord, someone's gonna see it. I'm just not very good at checking things sometimes.
I'm down to 7. I need to take out 2 more. Gross.
You take out 2 more?
Yeah, because I'm down to 7. Because I've been like just deleting back because we're showing 5.
Yeah.
So I've deleted down to 7. So I got 2 more to try and delete out of here.
Okay, I have. This one sucks because I actually really like this one on this list, but I get it. All right, one more.
All right, I don't feel good about it, but I'm down to my 5. You said just put it right in the Discord chat.
In one sec. Hold on, let me wait till we're all ready.
All right.
Okay, oh fuck no.
Dude, this sucks.
It's just funny to see you scroll and see the little icon go up and down.
Yeah.
I still don't feel good about my list, but it's the closest I can do.
Yeah, I'm feeling like that right now with like the one I gotta cut and damn. All right, this is gonna be a bad one because fuck. You know what? Let's just say it. Let's just say it because.
All right, ready?
Hold on. And let's just see. Let's just see. All right. On a count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Dishonored 2 just got
bastards. Both of you are bastards.
All right.
Well, we all unanimously agreed on.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for the listeners out there, Dishonored 2 got triple roasted. Kells, though, that was your addition, though. Would you like to?
Yeah, I was very close as well to putting Gunstar Heroes. That was like my 6. So, we almost tripled up there as well.
You want to say your piece on Dishonored, though?
Fun game, highly recommend. Still.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game, but the problem is kind of like what we've talked about with some other games. It relies on knowledge of the prior game. It's not like a good standalone.
I tried more for there's other spy espionage on here.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so we can safely eat that one from the list.
Dishonored 2 has been fun. Gunstar Heroes also got yeeted. This one sucks. It's cool seeing on this list. I feel like it'd be a really cool representation if you saw like a list like that. Oh, that'd be kind of sick, like seeing Gunstar Heroes on that. But
yeah,
there's some beefy fighters on here, and this one does not hold up to it.
I adore it, but it's a harsh list.
Indeed, it is. Bye. All right. EDF 5, David.
No, fuck y'all. I will defend this game to my dying fucking breath.
You can defend it all you want, but unless you want to sway us somehow, some way.
Well, I know I can't sway you, and the unfortunate thing is Kels has not played it, so.
I understand why you like it on your David.
I know
it's that same thing of like it really does offer something different from everything else on this list, but again, when you're looking at the competition at large, though, it's
such a phenomenal game that just isn't being given a chance.
I'll give you like a top 50. Like I'll give you like a top 50, sure. Like it's a really cool like outside the box thing, but like top 25 though, we still gotta cut like another 10 more on top of this. That's tough, David.
Yeah, again, it hurts my heart, but that's fine. I accept this lot in life. I look forward to next year when we do the next 25 games.
Okay. Let's see. Was that it for Black Ops? Black Ops.
Yeah.
Eat
that shit.
Yeah, I think for Twitch kind of shooters, and I think especially with the ones kind of story, especially when you got like zombies on there, that's a crazy loss. But the tribe has spoken on that one, so I cannot fight the tribe on that one. Call of Duty, goodbye. I say we. What do you guys want to do now? Do you want to do that one more time, or do you guys want to reevaluate the list and see what might look glaring on here? Do you guys want to talk about our other choices on here and see if we can convince everyone else to?
I say we can do it again.
Yeah, maybe we do it one more time. Draft it out.
Let's do it one more time, I think.
Because if there is things that we all kind of say in common here, then sure.
Sure. All right.
Oh, it hurts every time.
It hurts worse.
Oh man. I mean, it's definitely some I'm not fucking deleting. They're fucking staying, and they're getting far more grouped together. But
Wait,
I used
did we
to-
take Skate out?
no, that lives to
Okay.
see another day.
Oh no, yeah, no, sorry. Skate 2's out. I
Yeah,
didn't even
it's
notice
Oh,
that.
Skate 2's out. Perfect. All right.
Yeah, we both got it.
All right, before we then, I guess, do that. Kels, talk on Skate 2.
Uh, Arguably one of the best skateboarding games. So good, it's still trying to be replicated by imitators and by
Phonies.
EA themselves. So
All right.
hopefully one day we get it.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 or 3 would have been amazing on this list, I feel like, too.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
could put either. Honestly, they're such good fucking games.
Part 2. All right. All right, let's do this again. Okay. Okay.
I hate this.
This is tough.
It hurts so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, this one's a lot tougher.
Oh, I don't want to put some of these games in. Ah, fuck it. I'm just committed to it because if I don't, it's gonna hurt either way.
Yep, that one hurt.
Uh,
That one did not
Alright.
feel good.
I have my 5 ready when you gents are ready.
I need one more.
I'm not ready. My tummy hurts though.
Yeah, I don't feel good about this.
Oh, I just realized Bioshock's on the list twice at 13 and 20.
Oh, yeah, here.
Perfect.
Yeet. Okay, that makes it much easier.
Does it? I need one more still. I'm struggling. No, I think I actually know what I'll kick out. That's.
Oh,
I
I
don't
hate
like it because this kind of kills off a lot of something, but I don't actually really agree with this either. But we're gonna go with it. All right, ready, y'all?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yellow.
Woo!
Oh shit.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Woo!
Man, you both. I hate you both. I understand why you both are putting it there, but you both disgust
All right,
me.
so on here, I'm going to read it off like this. So I put To the Moon, 13 Sentinels, Hollow Knight, StarCraft, Donkey Kong Country. They put The Walking Dead Season 1, Alan Wake 2, Burnout 3, Limbo, Metal Gear Solid 2. Kels put Burnout 3, New Vegas, 13 Sentinels, Limbo, and Stardew. So that was a lot more contention there.
Y'all
Yeah.
bastards.
But we still got a little bit of crossover.
We got
here.
a little bit. So I'll say for Limbo, and Limbo was one I was considering. I was actually I was like on teetering with, but it just fit distinctly the early indie vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a unique art style, but yeah,
I didn't feel good putting it there,
it
honestly, but I had to.
it does not hang
Yeah.
with this list, so I understand. So Limbo, it's been fun.
And I feel like Stardew is a good representation of like those indie vibes without it being
Yeah,
antiquated.
as you
and
put both of them on there.
Right. Right. That's because again, it's hard.
Because fuck those. I hate them.
Fuck indie games.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. So you guys both put Burnout 3, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Is that the only racing game we have now?
Yeah.
Ooh, no wheels. Burnout 3 Takedown, I think, is such a fucking incredible arcade racer game.
I'll be honest, I only put it on my list because I didn't expect either of you to throw it in there. So I thought it would be safe if I threw it up.
it's an incredible arcade racer. One of my fucking
Absolutely.
favorites. If they were ever like one day just like did a full remaster of that, I'll buy copies for everyone because like that game deserves the fucking support. it
Or
needs.
Burnout Revenge. I'd take Burnout Revenge as well.
Yeah,
Both
I don't want
really
Paradise.
fucking
Like
Burnout
Paradise
games.
is cool.
I like Paradise though.
Paradise is
Yeah.
cool, but I need 3 or Revenge. Like that's where I'm
Yeah.
at right now. But Burnout 3 Takedown, you've been taken down. All right, David.
I hate you all.
So this one sucks because I can promise you, as soon as I play it, I will disagree with my own choice.
I think that's the issue here is that we both
Yeah.
played it. So I think it is one of those things. Like once we play it, we'll be like, we see what he was cooking.
But here's the thing. I see what he's cooking, but David, the only reason, the only reason why I kicked it off is because I feel like it's between House and Fata Morgana and 13 Sentinels. I know that there's still like
They're
I knew which,
different
I
games.
knew which
I know.
one would break your heart.
I know they're different
Oh.
games, but like they still have that crossover enough of like, of like the visual novelty side of it, where I feel like when we cut out, when you think about it now, right? We just cut off a whole fucking racing genre.
Yeah.
But you have like this, you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of where I was at.
I wish you guys had experienced it prior.
Well, here's
to
the
this.
thing. I can promise you. I can
Oh,
promise you
man.
this right now. Because when I experience both of them, I'm gonna feel the same way, right? But I can promise you, when it comes to this list, I would not. I'd only pick one of them. I can promise you. As much as I hate that idea, the fact that we just cut out like fucking racing, right? It's like you can
Yeah.
only really like have one in that realm.
That's fair. I understand. They're entirely different games.
But they have like that
Uh,
tinge of like that like finger of crossover where
That's why I'm like I understand the logic. I can't be mad at it, and I know the reasoning.
top
It
50
just
it makes it.
fucking
It's fine.
hurts.
Top 50 it's fine. Top 25 we're cutting it bad.
It just hurts because that game was such a fucking roller coaster.
What would you pick if you had to
Goddamn.
pick between these two? I feel like I've heard you gush about Fata Morgana. It's because you played it longer, or you played it a while back. But like, I feel like I've heard you gush
I mean,
about that.
I've replayed through. I played through Fata Morgana twice at this point. I've only done 13. The only reason I would go with Fata Morgana over 13 Sentinels is primarily because I feel like Fata Morgana is designed with the idea of replaying it through. There's a lot of extra content and a lot of hidden elements you get on a replay. Whereas 13 Sentinels, the whole premise of the way the story unfolds only works the first time you play the game.
Okay, so you'd say Fata Morgana would stay?
I would say Fata Morgana over 13 Sentinels, but it hurts.
Okay.
It's like choosing my favorite cat. Like, they're all wonderful.
Oh, you picked one, unfortunately.
Wow.
Oh,
All right. Is that all our crossover?
I think that's it. We got 4 more children to eat here.
All right. I say this hurts. I say let's do it one more time because I feel like it's been entertaining for everyone. Let's make it hurt one last time.
No.
One last time, y'all.
Yeah, we're really narrowing it down too. Good
Oh,
news.
you're a
This is actually a solid way to do this.
Yeah.
I was ready to take forever, but no, fuck. I think this is actually kind of solid. All right, one more time, y'all.
All right. If it comes to a situation where we have more than, we're gonna have to start actually like fighting and arguing for it. But
No, I think this might be it. We might even have just like one left to cut on here. All right.
this is fucking evil.
It really is. Actually, I feel like I'm gonna. Okay.
Oh, I hate this.
Ooh, I have a spicy pick.
Fuck, I'm down to 12, but I don't know what to do.
I have a very spicy pick.
Oh.
I have a very spicy pick.
I think I do too.
All right, I'm gonna do this differently. I think I'm gonna start with the ones that I know I want in there, and then decide on the rest from there.
I think I'm good.
Oh, I still need to shave off 9 games.
That's the wrong
Yeah.
way to go about it, sir.
Okay, I think I'm good too.
Keep that. Keep that.
Yeah, wow, this one has one I don't feel great.
I don't.
I'm one of those people like first answer, that's what I'm going with. I'm not gonna second guess it too hard. It's why I felt.
I respect that.
Keeping that.
Ooh, this was spicy for sure.
Keeping that. Oh, I got to pick between two children. I don't like it. Ah, fucking hell. I'm sorry. You don't deserve this, but you're going to have to be on this list. I hate it. All right. I got my 5.
All right. Let's see. We'll do another one
All
after
right.
this, maybe. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right.
Oh,
Ooh.
Y'all are fucking wild.
Spicy. All right. This round,
Oh.
I voted Donkey Kong Country, Hollow Knight, To the Moon, StarCraft, Mass Effect 2. David voted Stardew Valley, Metal Gear Solid 2, Walking Dead Season 1, Alan Wake 2, Red Dead 2. Cal's voted Donkey Kong Country, To the Moon, Link to the Past, StarCraft, and Hollow Knight. So that means Donkey Kong Country gets the boot. That was the one I was kind of maybe, and it
Wild.
sucks because that one was I was putting around the beginning. That sucks because that's like a big staple thing that we're just kicking out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think even so,
Look,
here's the
they're
thing.
both of the rare legacy.
Here's the thing is I think we can do better than DKC. I'm just gonna say that. I think 2D platform. I think we can do better than DKC, but we just haven't really put much thought to it.
Yeah.
No, DKC is the pinnacle.
I
of 2D
haven't
platforms.
played Tropical Freeze. I need to play that.
You should.
I feel like I'd have fun with it.
Next boot, and I feel like I'm the only one that's just really need to speak on To the Moon. I love To the Moon. Like I said, I talked all about that.
That hurts to see.
That does.
Fuck.
And especially because I've been the one that has been voting out the entire time. I think it's a fantastic experience. When you're holding it against other games, though, I think that just have a bigger legacy. I think those ones just deserve it more than this. Like I said, I fucking love that game, but legacy wise and all that, I think it tells a strong story, but it doesn't do anything that's like crazy genre wise. You know, like it's just like a solid
Yeah.
experience. So I love this game, and
I adore it, but
yep. Okay.
Hollow
a
Knight.
spicy pick as well as Hollow Knight to see go.
So it's really between Symphony of the Night and Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
And I personally, my pick would be Hollow Knight just because of modern side of it. But
Recency bias, yeah.
sure, but I think it says a lot to keep a legacy pick, and I think the big like, I think keeping a Castlevania game in there says a lot. I think keeping this kind of game in it, like the PS1, says a lot. So I think sticking with this, it just feels a little more right. Cal's anything to say on Hollow Knight?
No, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Absolutely.
All right, and I think actually this is it, right? Because unfortunately, StarCraft gets yeeted.
Y'all are cut.
David, speak your piece on StarCraft because that's it. Actually, this is locked.
Yeah, that does put us at 25. This plan unfortunately worked well.
This is probably the most efficient thing I've ever planned on this fucking podcast in all 269
Yeah.
episodes. Like, holy shit, this would have been like a fucking 3 or 4 hour just conversation alone right now.
The true, I mean, it's not the grandfather of RTSs. That'd be Dune 2000. But it's definitely the template that all other RTSs would follow to this day, other than Command and Conquer and the ones that follow that style of RTS. Still played competitively to this day. Absolute major cornerstone of the genre and of gaming as a whole. And it's wild to not see Blizzard representation at all on this list now.
I think that hurts, but I mean, like, when you think about a lot of the stuff that got yeeted too, right? Like, it got yeeted along with some big hitters too, so it's not going and like, it's not limping along with like some
In the
like
trash.
yeah, it's like, oh, you gotta walk it off with some homies, right?
Fair.
All right, that was fuck. I was fishing as fuck. All right, the blue rupees now, and we can take off our quotes now because this is actually 25. The definitive.
The.
What a wild list.
And I'm gonna say top 25 must play games.
Also, shout outs. We only have like 2 multiplayer games.
Hell yeah.
So actually, I on that
3.
note, I just kind of want to go back really quick, and I want to go back and read what games that we voted that didn't get kicked off. I mean, like David, try as he might, Metal Gear Solid stuck it the entire way through. He tried each time to kick it out. It survived. Trying to kick out Walking Dead Season 1, I understand that. I think I could tell that you probably struggle with Alan Wake and Red Dead. You haven't played it and hearing only us gush about it. So I'm sure
Yeah,
that
basically I threw them in for the same reason you guys threw in like
Yeah.
13 Sentinels and Aegis Rim. Like, it's not.
no, okay. So hold on. It wasn't because I didn't play it. It was because it was between that and Fata Morgana, and the way I'm like hearing you. Again, I understand they're different. I know, vastly different. But like, if I have to have like some sort of like one strand of hair crossover, that's gonna be that. And if I've heard you speak, it's always Fata Morgana versus 13 Sentinels, which is more recent, to be fair. But like I've heard you speak like obscene amounts of praise for Fata Morgana, so that was my rationale behind that. I'm sure they both belong on there 100%, but that wasn't because I hadn't played it. It was me rationalizing which one of those two.
No, but it's hard for me to give like an argument why something should stay when I haven't played it. That's my thought process.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
I try to
kinda how
split
is
it.
for me too.
I try to split it with stuff that I have played though, 'cause otherwise it would have been just a list of like what haven't the other two played, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I threw Stardew Valley on that last one of like, well, I have to sacrifice a child here, so
Yeah.
Which that was a swerve from Kells almost because
yeah.
Kells had Stardew on the previous one and did not put Stardew on the last one, so that was almost
Yeah,
a
'cause we
contention
got-
for which one would have stayed. I do want to say my spicy pick at the last second was Mass Effect 2. When I evaluate it from a lens, I feel like I had a lot more character moments in other games that could replicate at least a semblance of those feelings that I had in Mass Effect 2, right? Like it's obviously not the same, but like I've had very strong character moments, and that's what Mass Effect 2 is, also strong character moments, right?
I almost put it on there. The only reason I didn't is just because of the fact that again I haven't finished it. I know what happens in the game, but I didn't feel it was entirely fair for me to kind of evaluate that fully. But I almost put it there because say what you will, I do think that you get far more out of Mass Effect 2 having played one, because that's the whole point of Mass Effect is it's your journey
Sure.
throughout the different games. So that's why I almost put it there, just because I'm like, you really need one to have that full weight of everything. But I
think they've done
ultimately
it-
listened to
they-
what you said.
They've done an immaculate job
Yeah.
of being able to jump in onto when two of us in here have did exactly that and loved it, you know? Which
Yeah,
is very rare.
that's why I ultimately didn't. But
let's read out this list then. So the definitive Blue Ruby's top 25 must-play games are The Walking Dead Season 1, Doom 2016, A Link to the Past, Alan Wake 2, Red Dead 2, Silent Hill 2, Chrono Trigger, What Remains of Edith Finch, Grim Fandango, Nier Automata, Yakuza 0, Fallout New Vegas, BioShock, Halo Reach, Divinity, Original Sin 2, Mass Effect 2, Resident Evil 7, Elden Ring, The House of Fata Morgana, Stardew Valley, The Last of Us, Metal Gear Solid 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Mario Galaxy.
I will say it's supposed to be Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh,
but
3.
Yeah.
Done. Is there any game on there that, besides David trying to say Metal Gear, is there any game on there that you guys are surprised like skirted underneath the sideline?
I'm surprised Walking Dead has survived.
I think for me, it might be Grim Fandango. That was one of those, like, I had kind of a few in my head that just, like, I couldn't, not that I couldn't vote for, but that I wouldn't vote for, and that was one of them, but it was always, like, a hard one. It was like, should I? No. I think that's one that anyone interested in gaming as a whole, may it be a medium or just like an outlet for fun, that's definitely one you need to check out.
Yeah, and let's see. I'm surprised none of you guys
This
went
was
for The
moving
Last
parts,
of
though.
Us. Did you guys for Last of Us?
No.
No, I almost put it on there a couple times,
Yeah.
but there were just other things I would have rather see go first. So
Oh, ooh. Since this actually went really effectively and we're kind of done with this, Abram already had a really great idea right now before we take off and leave this actually. Because this actually went, I feel like I saved an hour of us talking. Abram already said, can you rank these?
no,
I feel like I could do like a top 5 that I'd say are the must plays.
I can barely rank
can we
like
make
my
a
favorite
top, how
things
about
on
that? Can we make out of this like a bold top 5 of like, these are the ones that stand above the like top 5 and then everything else is like no specific
No,
order?
no. I struggled to come up with 25 of all time. I'm not gonna be able to pick 5 above the rest.
Okay, how about this? I'm gonna highlight you guys, and I know this. I say this as if it's gonna make it any easier for David. It's gonna make it actually harder for David. Everyone gets one game on here. That's their definitive. I know it's not it's I know David, you're gonna
Doesn't
hate
make
that.
any difference.
I know it doesn't, but I want to highlight everyone's like, what's the one that they put on there?
For me, I can call it out. I'd say Resident Evil 7.
So I'll put that in red for Kells. David, if you, I know you hate this. This is like literally the worst
I'm
thing.
not picking one. I'm not
You
playing
gotta
your
pick.
games,
You gotta
Wizard
pick
Man.
one. You gotta pick
And
one.
that's mainly because when we're talking about top 5, I feel like Resident Evil 7 would be my solid 5. Like, I feel like that's kind of foundationally like, hey, this is a must play, but I don't think it's like my top must play.
Interesting.
I
I
hate
like
you
that.
right now. I don't like any of this.
I like that. Actually, that's some good logic right there.
Yeah, because I like David. I honestly don't know what I would do 4 through 1 if I had to do that, but
You know which one would
Resident
be
Evil,
kind of right there. That's interesting.
yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, Chrono
I
Trigger.
okay.
yeah, that was another one.
Respect it. Respect it. Nier would be mine. I would. That's gonna be somewhere floating in that area. If not one though, that one definitely could fight for one. What a good ass list though. I feel like.
No, that's a great list.
David, which game, if you had to have one game from yours that got cut off, which one would you throw on there?
No, I'm not playing this dumb game. No, we're not doing this.
Like no, like
We have our top 25.
But like, is there one that you like feel like you were like, because is it EDF for you? We're like, oh, if that was the one, then I'm like, ooh,
Absolutely not. I wanted everything to go forward.
yeah, it's never gonna happen for you.
I mean, if I had to pick one from my list, I mean,
I feel like it's Third Descent the way you were just talking right now.
no. Civ 6, I'm okay with disappearing. It sucks, but
No, I'm
that'd
not
be the
saying
only
disappearing.
one.
I'm saying which one like, what's one game that you wish didn't get cut off this last like round?
Oh, didn't get cut off. Yeah, 13 Sentinels, 100%.
Okay.
That one hurt the most.
Which one of mine hurt the most? You know what? I think it's Burnout. I think mine's Burnout because it's like it's literally a whole genre. So like I don't know, it feels like it's a whole weird like thing out there. So I think my one that hurt the most was probably Burnout. Kels, you got anyone that hurts the most?
Not necessarily.
They all hurt.
Not,
They all hurt
yeah,
the
they
same.
all hurt equally, but I'm also equally not too attached to any of them.
Fuck them all then.
Yeah, fuck them all, dude.
All right, that was solid. We did good. I genuinely, I'm not lying. I'm shocked this went as smooth as it did.
Yeah, no, after that first one, when we only had like 1 or 2 games off from each other, it's like, oh, this might be quick.
Yeah. Oh man. But hell yeah, that's good. That's a good list right there. I feel like I can feel confident just posting that.
Yeah,
April
even
Ray
the
said,
ones that
"Go ahead."
oh, I was about to say, even the ones that, looking back at it, even the ones that like we didn't match up on were like almost there, or like either almost a suggestion for me, or ones that we suggested later on.
Stardew was definitely right in that edge there.
You know,
Uh,
Igbon and
yeah, that's good. That's good though. All right, y'all. April, feel free to throw us that list of yours whenever you like.
yeah, he
But
threw it in there.
oh, did he?
Yeah, right
Oh,
above us.
let me read that off real quick, just so we can wrap this up here. A Pepperoni's top 25 with 5 honorable mentions are Baldur's Gate 3, Mass Effect 1. There you go, David. Elden Ring, Firewatch, Diablo 2, Silent Hill 2, Left 4 Dead 2, Hades, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Ori and the Blind Forest, Grim Fandango, Yakuza 0, Gang Beasts, Walking Dead, No Man's Sky, Doom 2016, Halo Reach, Red Dead Redemption 2, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, The Stanley Parable, No Heroes Allowed, Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time, Asura's Wrath, interesting. Power Watch Simulator, I fuck with that one. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, with HMs being Near Automata, Breath of the Wild / Twilight Princess, A Way Out, Borderlands 2 / Tales of the Borderlands, and Metal Gear Solid 3. David, you had some picks in there that made David smile, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Well, that about does it for this episode. We did it. I am proud of us, gents.
Woohoo!
Yeah. All right. That's the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Fuck EDF5, right, Kels? Fuck that game.
Yeah, fuck that game. Glad we got it out of here.
Yeah,
Out of
fucking dumbass.
Y'all bastards.
Stupid bugs.
All right, y'all. See you stream.
See ya.